Let's see. The encyclopedia was always like one of my favorite parts for just the Tenkaichi series and games in general. It was just such a cozy little atmosphere for like the time that we were in. I don't know how to explain it. Because when I think of Chi-Chi in the encyclopedia book, I just think of nostalgia, honestly. I just think, wow.
Oh yeah, Goku!
Just sitting in front of my SD TV playing some Dragon Ball and just her explaining all these characters to me. It was just great. It was fun.
I'm glad Boo
So fun.
became one of the good guys. All thanks to Dad.
Let's see.
Oh, hi, girls.
The squares for girl talk, huh?
Young, right around the time I became the blushing bride.
He proposed to you at the World Martial Arts Tournament, didn't he?
Yep, we made a promise to wed when we were just little kids.
Aw, that's so romantic.
It is romantic. But also, it was very crude. Very, very crude. I'm gonna have a piece of things to say in this girl talk as well, too, honestly. I'm gonna be spouting a lot of opinions in this. Goku mid, let's see.
This was around the time when Goku was all about fighting and never about working.
Isn't he pretty much always like that, though?
Yeah, that's kind of true, I guess.
He really is always like that, though. They said that this is the time where
This was
Goku
around
was
the
just
time when
always
Goku
focused
was
on
all
fighting,
about
but this is
fighting
Goku
and
mid,
never
so this
about
is
working.
Goku
Isn't he pretty much
in Namek
always
Saga,
like that,
like after
though?
Namek.
Yeah, that's kind of true, I guess.
So I guess during that like 3-year training period before the androids arrived, that's basically that time period. This is driving Goku. This is basically driving Goku. Yeah. Driving car filler episode. That's him. Alright. Oh, we're gonna go in order, so full power mid Super Saiyan. Chi-Chi's gonna say something bad about Super Saiyan every time, I promise you.
My whole family was like a bunch of delinquents after they transformed, and they never listened to me.
Oh, give it a rest.
It just makes them tougher, that's all.
It does make them tougher. Goku end.
Goku was jumping between the living world and the other world so much. Gohan and Goten didn't get to spend a lot of time with him.
Between Cell, the Supreme Kai, and all the Majin stuff, that was a real tough time to be raising kids.
Being a good mom is a crazy job, huh?
Is Videl before she has Pan? I guess maybe once she gets to Pan, then she'll be like, oh, this is my daughter. Unless, like, once we get to Pan, she's just not gonna know. But what do you mean raising kids must be hard? You have a kid. I mean, you shouldn't, well, she's in the growing pains of raising a kid, I guess, you know? Like, this is most likely Videl when she just had Bulma, because she's wearing the Battle of Gods outfit in this. So, yeah, this has to be Videl as soon as, like, Pan was born. This is Videl after that Pan flying episode in Super.
There it is again.
You get ready to hear that. There it is again. There it is again.
I'm just impressed about how many
man.
times Goku has saved the planet by
They
now.
really, they
For
killed
real.
this. They did a great
And
job.
he's a first-rate martial artist, to
This is a great
boot.
encyclopedia. Hold on, I want to play that one again.
There it is again.
I really wish Goku would set a better example for our kid. It's just because of the blonde hair. She just thinks the blonde hair means, boom, you're a
For
delinquent.
real. And he's
Which apparently
a
is just the whole thing in
first-rate
Japan.
martial artist, to boot.
Super Saiyan 2.
This is even worse than his base form of delinquency. I don't know what goes on in that man's head sometimes.
At my age, I don't think I can pull off a hairstyle like that.
I mean, it does make him
It's even
look pretty
spikier because it's Super Saiyan
intimidating,
2. Yeah, Super Saiyan 2 has a much more intimidating just face in general compared to Super Saiyan. I mean, maybe like the hair is a bit more like, it looks like it's less bedheady in Super Saiyan 2. You know what I mean? Like it's just going straight up, just pointing straight up. And then Super Saiyan 3, yeah, you can definitely tell that's a Super Saiyan 3. Looks so slim.
Look how scary he is. I hope Gohan doesn't try to copy this look.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
With how smiley Goku tends to be, seeing him like this is almost uncanny.
It is a bit uncanny. It's because of the eyebrows. It's the eyebrows. Goku Super.
Lately, Goku's been actually going to work and acting like a responsible father.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out that he got his driver's
He actually got the driver's license?
Hard
Wow.
to picture him in a classroom.
It really is. It really is hard to picture him in a classroom.
Even in his 40s, Goku's attitude hasn't changed much. I just
Dang,
want him to act
Goku's in his
age.
40s,
I
man.
get you. I mean, he's got grandchildren now.
He also looks the same
Okay,
as
so
he
Pan
did
is born.
like 20 years ago. Those Saiyans and their graceful aging.
Graceful aging. They do age very gracefully, I guess. Wonder if the hybrids do as well, too.
Now his hair is red. This one I just don't get. The blonde hair made him look like a delinquent enough already.
Well, other than the hair color being different, he looks like he's
This
become a
one's
lot
just red.
stronger, too.
Don't
Red-
bother.
red's better
That
than
has
blonde,
nothing
right?
To do with it. It's all
Maybe.
the same to Chi-Chi.
Yeah, Chi-Chi doesn't care about like if your power level gets stronger. She just cares about
Now his
appearance.
hair is
Appearance
red.
matters a lot to
This one I
Chi-Chi.
just don't get.
It's just funny
The
'cause she
blonde
says
hair
Bulma's
made him
a
look like
superficial one.
delinquent enough already.
Yeah, wow. I mean, even Super Saiyan God looks just as slim as Super Saiyan 3. I feel like they should have buffed up Super Saiyan 3 a bit more in this game now. Just a little bit more. Goku Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. And it really is the name.
Great. Now he's got blue hair for some reason. I hope Gohan and Goten don't try to copy this
Chi-Chi's
nonsense.
just over it.
Well, I know
She's
I'm
just
very
over it.
biased, but I happen to like how flashy it is.
If he keeps finding
like the
new
blue? Oh, of course you like the blue
maybe
Bulma.
we'll see Super Saiyan Green someday. Or
Maybe purple. Come, Fidel,
Maybe
please.
not.
Yeah, let's not go there.
We've almost got every color at this point. We really do. We got green basically with Broly. I mean, he might as well be green, lime green. We got red, blue, purple, Ego. I mean, jeez, dude, we really are just hitting all the rainbows. Oh my god, that means Super Saiyan Rainbow might actually be a thing. Super Saiyan Rainbow. If they just call it Rainbow, I might. Oof.
Goku? Oh, wow.
His attitude's made a complete 180.
I like
He
that.
looks
Oh, I like this
stronger
one.
than ever.
Hold on, look at how Chi-Chi says Goku. That was good voice
Goku?
acting. Just the shock,
Wow.
the pure shock.
His attitude's
Of
made a
Ultra Instinct.
complete 180.
That's the thing about
He
Ultra
looks
Instinct. It's
stronger
like
than ever.
it's more than a transformation. I'm not even trying to like gas it up right now, but it really is more than a transformation. It's like it's a whole shift. It's a shift in one's body and mind. It's insane. That's why like Ultra Instinct was so like jarring and blew up so hard because like it really didn't like feel like a transformation. It felt like an evolution for Goku especially.
Goku and I are getting older, sure, but white hair? It's far too early for that.
Sounds like it's black hair or nothing, huh, Chi-Chi?
I don't know. I kind of dig the silvery look.
The silvery look. I'm so happy Chi-Chi brought along Bulma and Videl for this.
Look.
You know, it does say Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl super in parentheses, so yeah, this is definitely their super variations. Goku GT.
That's Goku? I can't even
You don't know
tell
this
anymore.
Goku. None of you guys know
Look,
this Goku.
He's got a tail.
Oh man. Not that I want to look that young again, but I'm still kind of jealous.
I was kind of hoping that Bulma, in the Dragon Ball GT sub, Bulma says something very specific that's only in the sub, and it's really great with the score that they used for it as well too. It was really sweet. But she says that when she first sees Kid Goku in GT, she says, "Now you look the way that I always see you," and I love that. I love that. She always sees Goku as this. I always see Goku as this, honestly, at least mentally. Physically, sure, he's completely different, but mentally, this is where he's at. But that's what I love about Goku, man. He's just a kid at heart. It's relatable.
This kid that looks like Goku even copied his blonde hair obsession.
Okay,
If
Chi-Chi just doesn't
turn
believe
into
it's
a
Goku.
Super Saiyan,
Chi-Chi just
I mean, he's a Saiyan himself, right?
he just
Could he
looks
be
too
like
out of
a
place.
long-lost relative or something?
It's Goku Jr. That's who it is. It's Goku
This
Jr.
kid
That's
that
your
looks
great,
like
great, great,
Goku
great,
even
great
copied his blonde hair obsession.
grand Goku.
If he be like a long-lost
I just don't
relative
believe
or
it's
something?
Goku. That's so funny.
I don't care what Super Saiyan a number it is. Shaving off your eyebrows is not a
Yeah,
good
now the shaving of her eyebrows. This was
Look, if they
this was
set
her
their
last
minds to
stand.
it.
This was her last straw.
I bet even Gohan could, if he wanted.
Now that would be a shock.
This was Chi-Chi's last straw. Oh my gosh.
Say a number it
The
is.
eyebrows are a
Shaving
bad
off
look,
your
though.
eyebrows
Come
is
on
not
now.
a good look.
2% 3 was still look
Anybody
cool
could
with the
rock a
eyebrows.
Look if they set their mind to it. Heck, I bet even Gohan could, if he wanted.
Shaved
Now
eyebrows,
that would be
Gohan.
a shock.
Oof.
Is that my Goku? He looks so different.
Different's fine. Sometimes you gotta let a guy try something new.
Oh, wow. That's good to know.
Dang, no monkey jokes for that one? Goku team.
Aw, Goku was a little cutie when he was this age, wasn't he?
This is what my husband looked like when we first met as little kids. Goten is the spitting image of him, isn't he?
I remember how
Truly.
shocked I was when I met somebody with a tail for the first time. This is such a nostalgic look for him.
Okay, everyone can appreciate Kid Goku. Yeah. We all know that Goku. The one that started it all, really. Goku Mini. Oh, they got nothing to say about Mini. Dang, they can't say anything about Mini. He's just there. That's crazy. Crazy. Dang. Vegeta.
When Vegeta first came to Earth, he kept going on and on about being a prince. I just remember how nasty his attitude was.
Now he's a father of 2 and fights alongside Goku. Wow!
You
How a
and
man can
Goku
change.
were really positive influences on him.
Yeah, no, Bulma and Goku are like the 2 most influential people in Vegeta's life.
I'm so glad Trunks doesn't have a tail. If they both turned into this thing, my house would be in shambles.
Now that you mention it, Vegeta doesn't have a tail. I heard that he used to, though.
That's because Yajirobe sliced it off back when Vegeta was fighting with Gohan.
And it never grew back after that. That must have been a good-ass slice, Yajirobe. Seriously, like, it never grew back once. Or maybe, like, it did start to grow back, but he was just like, Vegeta was just like, yo, I'm rocking it off. I mean, it's just a weakness at the end of the day. Surely it is. If you grab my tail, you drain me of all my energy. You might as well just get rid of it.
Bulma, remind me, was this around the time he started living with you?
That's right. He just seemed so lonely. I couldn't help but want to take care of him. Next thing I
Help
knew...
but want to fuck him is
well,
what she meant. Help
you
but want to fuck
I'm
him.
so glad Vegeta met you, Bulma.
So crazy they call this Vegeta early now.
Vegeta follows the trend. Saiyans, they're all alike.
Ooh, blonde works for me too. If anything, I'm kind of envious how easily he can change his hairstyle.
You're a lot more tolerant of that kind of stuff, aren't you?
Super Vegeta up. I promise you Chi-Chi's gonna bring up his muscles for sure. Those muscles are incredible. That's what she says in Tenkaichi 3. I don't know why I had like a little sig tone to it though, but that's basically what she says.
Okay, real talk. I don't see much of a difference here.
Yeah, I don't really get it either.
Ever talked with him about what the deal with this form was?
Haven't asked. Even if I did, I doubt he'd say a word about it.
Yeah, I'm sure Vegeta does not want to relive this form. This was a big ego check form for him. Good for his character development though. Good for his character development.
I remember this time. You should have seen how elated Vegeta was when he heard Goku was allowed to come back to life for 1 day for the tournament.
Right. Vegeta and Trunks got to participate in the World Tournament as father and son.
Gotta give credit to Vegeta for being a supportive father. Our husbands both got to see their boys compete in the arena.
And they got to see their kids fight, which is, I mean, come on, Vegeta, that's almost just as good. Even if you couldn't fight Goku for that day, that was the whole thing with Vegeta during this arc. It was mainly, Goku almost triggered the midlife crisis, if I'm being honest with you. Like, they call it the Vegeta midlife crisis arc. Well, it's not even that much of a midlife crisis, honestly. It's just hearing that Goku's coming back for only 1 day. Like Bulma said, it got him so elated. So, like, he just couldn't even contain his Saiyan spirit to fight. You know what I mean? That's why he was just so locked in on focus and just fighting Goku no matter what happened that day. And of course, that 1 day that Goku comes back to life, that's when all this bullshit with Majin Buu has to happen. It could have happened any other day. It had to be 2 days specifically. So of course, Vegeta was just like pissed off about that, which is what made it easier for him to get mind control from Babidi. So it makes sense. Honestly, it's really not like terrible writing as much as people like say it is when it comes to the Majin Buu arc. Like there are good like plot narratives in there. They just need to be structured a little bit better. But it makes sense. It really does make sense why he was so pissed. Why this Vegeta, oh not this Vegeta, but why this Vegeta exists.
By this time, Vegeta had become very used to being in his Super Saiyan form on a regular basis.
Man, Vegeta's a hard worker.
I think he was always frustrated that Goku became a Super Saiyan first.
Yeah, he was. He truly was. Goku just got every new form and technique first. And it just... that's enough to... I mean, that would be enough to trigger me. Like, the person that I see as my rival, the person that I need to make sure I'm working better than, I want to be better than, that's pushing me to be my best. And he just keeps getting everything first before me. I'm just always, like, seconds behind. Not seconds behind, but, you know. You're always lost. Sucks being lost. Sucks being lost.
Vegeta as a Super Saiyan 2. He hated losing so much, he dedicated himself fully to getting on Goku's level.
Didn't he use some kind of special room with a gravity-changing machine? He'd have to be nuts to work out in a place like that.
Oh, wow! A whole room just for training. Rich people's houses, am I right?
I'm right there with the Chi-Chi. Yeah, no, that's some bougie shit. On a side note, that is interesting what they said. That's a little piece of detail there, because they're basically saying that he reached Super Saiyan 2 with the gravity training machine. So with the gravity training machine, Vegeta was able to achieve and reach the heights of Super Saiyan 2, which is interesting to think about. I mean, that could be true. I mean, I think that was kind of like the answer that most fans believed anyway. When I was a kid, I did believe that, and mainly just because, you know, I didn't get to, like, watch Dragon Ball as structured as I would have, because we didn't have, like, the internet as it is today, but when I was a kid, I definitely did believe that Majin Vegeta was the reason for Vegeta even being able to access Super Saiyan 2 in the first place. Like, I thought that triggered a Majin Vegeta, let him just learn how to, like, retain the power, kind of like what Goku did in Battle of Gods. But I guess it's not like that. I mean, I guess he must have had it before he went Majin, which is just so crazy to me then, like, why he was... So, I don't know. I feel like it would have been a little bit better writing if Majin Vegeta was the reason why he was able to access Super Saiyan 2. But at the same time, I like the idea of Vegeta having to learn Super Saiyan 2 on his own, you know what I mean? Like, I love that. It's just that we don't get to see that. So, like, let Majin Vegeta be the introduction of that if we're not going to be able to see, like, oh, he just learned Super Saiyan 2 off screen. Like, no, don't push Super Saiyan 2 to a transformation that you can just get off screen. Like, sure, maybe you can get away with doing that with Goku. That's fine. But with Vegeta, like, what? Come on, let's see that level to achieve, because when Gohan had it, everyone was astonished. Like, no one could believe that Gohan could achieve something so powerful, you know what I mean? So it's just... I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it. I'm fine with that.
This was when Vegeta's power was enhanced by Babidi. I couldn't believe he wanted to go back to being his old evil self for a time.
Hey, something's written on his forehead. I wonder what the M stands for.
Some kind of new fashion trend?
My
The heck out of
gene.
me.
I'm surprised someone said, like, wow, he's got a tattoo on his head. Like, I feel like that's something Chi-Chi
This
would have
was
said,
when
right?
Vegeta...
I remember that time Vegeta stood up to Beerus at your birthday party. What a man. Good on him.
Good on him.
Stop, I'm blushing. I
Oh my
guess
God,
everyone's
Bulma.
opinion has kind of changed of Vegeta. Even mine.
He's a lovely husband. I admit, though, I never expected him to be so good at cooking.
Oh, and yeah, Vegeta can cook. Yeah, it is kind of a funny thing to add to Vegeta's character is that he can cook. It's the first time we see Vegeta, he's eating a bug, he's kicking up a bug. I love Dragon Ball. But no, yeah, Vegeta and Battle of Gods, it's really funny in that movie. It was so funny when they all just started clapping for Vegeta when they were like saying like who could be a pure heart, and then it was just like, yeah, even like the good deeds that Vegeta has done lately, he definitely meets the quota of good heart to me, and I'm God. So yeah, if it meets it to Dende, then it meets it to the Dragon Balls technically. So but yeah, Vegeta in Super, I do like his character. Vegeta actually becomes a great character in Super. Funny enough, I mean, for as shit as Super is, Vegeta Super is a great character. Just to see where he's come from back when he was what he was before. It's nice.
Vegeta still has some serious anger problems. He needs to chill out and think about how he's influencing our kids.
Just when I was giving him credit for being a good father and a dedicated husband, he goes and becomes a delinquent too.
He is a good parent, though. I'm the breadwinner of our household, but we're safe and sound because of him.
You are definitely the breadwinner.
That's how it works with you guys.
Yeah, come on, Videl, you knew this. You knew this. You just didn't want to call it out. Everyone knew this. Come on, it's blatant. Vegeta doesn't work. He doesn't have a job. He's a deadbeat. All he focuses on is training. All he focuses on is just being strong. And being the man of the house and protecting his household and raising his kids to be strong. At least. Oh my god. Dang.
Look at how nice this color is. Even the red suits him. Oh, how does my hubby do it?
To become a Super Saiyan God, you need to gather 6 different Saiyans.
Considering how few living Saiyans there are, thank goodness for our little Pan.
Aww. Thank God for Pan. Yeah, seriously. If we see Super Saiyan Pan, that would be cool, though.
Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan? I don't really get it, but I've heard it's super strong.
A blue-haired
Super
He
strong.
and Goku both discovered this look around the same time.
I've heard this transformation uses up less energy and allows you to better control the power you exert with a calm mind.
With how short-tempered and cranky he tends to be, it'd be nice if he had a calm mind like this all the time.
One day, right? Maybe one day he will. He's getting better at it. He's getting a lot better at it. Vegeta meditates more. Alright. But yeah, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. We know the gist of the main Super Saiyans. I can't wait to see what they say about everyone else. That's not a Saiyan.
Huh, what do you think? Pretty wild and cool looking, isn't he?
You're telling me that's Vegeta? You've got to be kidding.
They look kind of similar, I guess. Hard to tell, though.
It's the genes. It's definitely the genes, because of the genes. Gohan.
Oh, look at my sweet little angel. Ever since he was born, I just knew he would study hard and be an academic genius.
Gohan's been a hard worker ever since he was little, and so dedicated to his studies. He's the best.
He's a good kid.
Seems like he enjoys fighting. Funny how he's the complete opposite of Goku.
We love that about you, Gohan. Keep being your kid.
This is Gohan when he was fighting Cell and the androids. I know he was defending the Earth, but he had me worried sick.
Honestly, leaving the fate of the world in the hands of a single kid? That was a huge gamble Goku took.
An insane
Gohan
gamble.
really got put through the ringer as a kid.
He had to go through some growing pains of it, but it made him the man that he is today.
This was Gohan at the start of his delinquent phase. He's already so handsome, he doesn't need to be blonde.
Gotta admit, though, he wears the golden spikes really well.
But ever since this happened, he let his martial arts training get too much in the way of his studies.
I don't think being behind on his studies has anything to do with being blonde.
I think he was around 10 years old by then. Becoming a Super Saiyan at that age takes real innate talent.
With guys like
He's
Goku and
11.
Vegeta, I'd
10,
say he
they
has
say
some
10, but he's
pretty great
11.
role models to be inspired by.
Yeah, because Time Chamber, yeah, he's 11. To Chi-Chi, she's 10. He's 10, though. So it would make sense why Chi-Chi would think that he's 10, because she doesn't really understand the concept of the hyperbolic time chamber that much. Like, you can explain things to Chi-Chi, and she will just interpret them her own way. She's a very stubborn woman, but we love her. We love you, Chi-Chi.
Gohan, so hard to save the whole planet. I shouldn't be so hard on him.
You shouldn't.
the Cell
Aw, I like
days.
that. I like that she's
That
not
was a rough
criticizing
time
Super
for
Saiyan 2. That's nice.
everybody.
Cell was going to self-destruct, taking the Earth with him, until Goku teleported him away at the last second.
Not only was Gohan in danger, but then Goku's sacrifice. Oh, Chi-Chi, you've seriously had it rough.
I'll never let my boys die again.
That's so sweet. Well, they put their heart for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Gave him his respect. You got to. This Gohan was the pinnacle of the entire fighting system of Dragon Ball as a series at one point. Never forget that. This transformation right here set the standard for peak. At this very moment, Gohan was the strongest living being in the entire universe. For what we knew of, at least. For what we knew of. But still, monumental. It was monumental.
This was Gohan when we were attending Orange Star High School. I had my suspicions about him, but I never could have guessed he was part alien.
Right, this was when the World Tournament was being held. Can't remember who took home the prize money.
The gang flew off, leaving Mr. Satan to fight 18 in a battle royale. Technically, he won, but he didn't exactly beat her.
Did Dad take credit for something he didn't
Is that
actually do again?
Is that a hint to
He
Bio
hasn't even
Broly?
been training lately.
Sound like a quick hint to Bio Broly. I don't know, I haven't watched Bio Broly, so I could be wrong, but when she said, Battle Royale with 18. Actually, I think Bio Broly, jeez. The plot is that 18 is pressing Mr. Satan because he hasn't given her the money yet.
They called this form the Gold Fighter. He'd stop bank robbers on the way to school like a part-time vigilante.
Why do you guys have so many bank robbers in the Dragon Ball world?
On the inside, I know he's my kind, wonderful little boy.
That sounds about right for Gohan. Peace only lasts so long, and a Saiyan can't just sit still with all that power. Glad he used it for good.
For real though, you can't just sit still with all that power. You gotta exert it. You gotta let it all out sometimes.
It's been a while, but I think the first time that Gohan became this form was when he faced that Kibito guy in the arena.
Oh, that was when he got stabbed by those two freaks with a magic lamp-looking thing.
I remember that, and then Majin Buu came along right after. That was probably the craziest time of my whole life.
How you gonna just skip over that you got your ass beat by Spopovich? Oh god, when we get to Spopovich, we might have to console Videl a little bit when we get to him. That's questions for later. But that's interesting what they said about this Gohan because just the way that Chi-Chi said it, like he achieved this form when he went up against Kibito. Which means that, like, I don't know, maybe it was like a real long time since he's even tried to go Super Saiyan 2. Like, I'm sure, like, maybe once in a while, Gohan made sure that he can tap back into Super Saiyan 2. Like, going from Teen Gohan to Adult Gohan, but I'm sure it was very few times. Like, it had to be a few amount of times because, yeah, I don't want to say, like, yeah, he's never hit Super Saiyan 2 again until he went up against Kibito, but no. I just don't think that would make sense. To be able to just go back into the transformation that like seamlessly, but I'm positive that just every now and then he would go out and like make sure that he can still access that power, for sure. But he just probably kept it hidden a lot. Like the last time like they saw it as a group was probably against Cell, you know what I mean? But other times, since it was just peaceful days, like why would he have to go Super Saiyan 2? Gohan doesn't like fighting, so he wouldn't have to do that.
Our hero, Great Saiyaman, the righteous warrior who protects our fair city's peace.
I invented this
Fidel's such a
device
fan.
that allows him to instantly change into his outfit.
Just funny because she used to hate Saiyaman.
I invented
Find
this
you a
device
Videl,
that
boys. Find you a
allows him to
Videl.
Instantly change into his outfit wherever he wanted.
No matter what weird phases he goes through, my son is a true hero at heart.
A superhero. Dragon Ball superhero. You are a superhero, Gohan. You always will be. Oh god, Ultimate Gohan. Want to hear a Mystic Gohan reference in this?
Well, Gohan definitely looks stronger and not like a delinquent for once. Otherwise, I don't get this form.
I don't get it
From what he
either.
told me, the Elder Supreme Kai performed a ceremony to unlock his latent inner power.
Saiyans do the strangest things.
It was a very weird ceremony too, honestly. We could have just done with Guru ceremony, which is just, hey, we'll put my hand on your head and pray for you. and you will get all the power in the world. You'll have all your power, all of your potential unleashed. It's just so weird. It's like, what's the difference between Guru's potential unleashed and the Elder Kai's potential unleashed? Is it the same potential unleashed, or are they two different potential unleashed? It makes no sense. Sonic Unleashed came out in 2008. Oh no, oh Future Gohan, this is gonna be sad. This is gonna be a sad one. Everything about Future Gohan in this game is just sad. Let's see it.
I remember Trunks mentioned that this Gohan was his teacher in the future. That's why he looks so vastly different from the one we know today.
No matter how old he gets or even what timeline he's from, my little Gohan is just the cutest thing.
He looks so much more dramatic than the Gohan I know. The
Dramatic
future where the
is
androids
crazy.
one must have been terrible.
Why did you say terrible so quietly? No, it was awful. It was god awful. But why does Gohan always steal Yamcha's haircuts though? I'm noticing a trend of that. Like, this is Yamcha's cut. Yamcha's pulled off a cut like this. Yamcha's had a cut like this. Yamcha's had a cut like the wild hair Gohan, not this Gohan, but the variation of this Gohan's hair. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yamcha had that same hair. Like, they always have the same hairstyles. It is usually Gohan copying Yamcha's hairstyle though. Must really just think Yamcha's cool or something. I think even in Tenkaichi 3, I think, like, yeah, Chi-Chi even says when you click on Yamcha, like, I hope Yamcha won't be a bad influence to Gohan. I guess, like, just in the Dragon Ball world, when, like, kids see Yamcha, they just, like, automatically assume just from his style and, like, you know, the crazy wild hair, the wolf bang fist, the scars, that he's just a fucking cool badass. Which, I mean, shit, I would too, but it's just so funny how us, the fans, see Yamcha compared to everyone else. That would probably see Yamcha in his world. Plus, Yamcha's a baseball player, so, yeah. He's literally the coolest guy there. Super Saiyan.
From what Trunks told me, Gohan's best efforts weren't enough to stop the androids.
I guess we never crossed paths in that timeline. I would have loved to fight by his
He
side.
probably died in that
All the
timeline, but
pain and suffering this Gohan went through. It kills me just thinking about it.
aw, Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's such a good mom. A little early. This one is started because I think I have him as my favorite on my player card.
This is when Piccolo became allies with Goku. He died protecting my son and narrowly escaped his home planet being destroyed. That's rough.
That was a crazy adventure we had on planet Namek. I'm just glad we got home in one piece.
That sounds crazy. What happened to Planet Namek anyway?
The whole planet was destroyed. So the Namekians had to move all their people to a new one.
Good thing we have the Dragon Balls to fix problems as big as that.
Well, you know, Chi-Chi's a lot nicer to Piccolo in this one compared to Tenkaichi 3. That makes me happy. She was so mean to Piccolo in Tenkaichi 3. Like, both of his forms. So it's nice to see that she really sees him as family a lot more now. She empathizes with him.
This is around when Goten and Trunks trained with him. He's taught them a whole lot.
I don't forgive him for that time he kidnapped my son, but Gohan really took a liking to him.
It's hard to imagine that he was once a bad guy.
It really is. Alright, well, she's a little bit meaner in that one.
This guy is a Namekian warrior like Piccolo. I've only ever heard about him. Wonder what he's up to these days.
What did you
I
hear
heard
about,
he did
like,
a Namekian fusion.
who would have
with
told her
Piccolo
about
on
Nail? I
Planet
guess
Namek.
Gohan, maybe?
They permanently merged
Gohan,
into
okay,
each
Gohan
other
did
to
me know.
become more powerful.
I guess maybe, like, yeah, maybe
no
Gohan or
offense,
Krillin
but it's not
told Chi-Chi
nearly
about
as interesting as the
him.
fusions I've seen. They look exactly the same.
Well,
That's racist.
We're only human. Hard to relate.
It is racist, then. Krillin!
I've known Krillin for what feels like forever. He was such a precocious little snot back then. But look at how much he's grown.
He
With his
was.
martial arts
He was.
skills, he's teamed up with Goku and the others to protect our planet countless
Krillin's changed a
times.
lot since he was a
He's
kid.
even got a lovely wife and daughter.
Considering how many times he's been wished back to life by the Dragon Balls, I'd say he's almost as tough as a Saiyan.
At this point, yeah.
Wonder how many years we've known Yamcha for now. Back in the day, he was a bandit, known as the Desert Hyena,
This is one of Goku's childhood friends. And
Bulma's ex-boyfriend. Dang, Chi-Chi, why you gotta leak that?
Sure was. I dumped his sorry butt after he cheated on me.
Damn.
But
Damn,
to be
his
fair,
sorry butt.
He has grown
Crazy.
into a really good dude since then.
And did
Wonder what his
Yamcha
love
cheat
life
though?
is
I don't
like
know.
these
I feel like
days.
Bulma might have been jumping to
Hope he finds
conclusions.
somebody.
I'm sure he'll find somebody. But no, I mean, well, Yamcha wants everybody. He's probably got girls lining up for him, honestly, if I'm being honest with you. He's a player. I don't know if Yamcha even cheated, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like she just, I don't know. Maybe, I feel like by cheating, I feel like Bulma takes cheating as like, oh, you're just checking out other girls and talking to other girls, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this man actually didn't like went out and started slinging dick around everywhere.
Goku's been rivals with this guy for years. Now he owns his own dojo in the mountains to train the next generation of martial artists.
An eyeball on his forehead? Huh. I wonder what the world looks
Yeah,
like through
Tien
those
just
eyes.
keep up with his martial arts training.
Now I'm trying to picture
And he teaches it. He
shades.
teaches the way of the
Actually, that's
crane
a good
school to other
point.
people.
I should make some special sunglasses for him.
3-eyed sunglasses. I think he would actually appreciate that, if I'm being honest with you. But no, Tien's changed a lot too, honestly. See where he's come from too, and to where he is now, and it's just funny. Like his character's never changed. Like it's not like he's dating Launch, even though Launch was like basically in love with him. He still just likes to be secluded to himself. That's his best friend Chaozu. He still loves and appreciates and respects the School of the Crane. He's just a great guy, honestly. He's just a really great dude. We need to like follow some sort of like side story with Tien and like his own disciple. That would be so cool. Like add his own disciple to the Dragon Ball mix. I would love that. Something like that would be so cool. Like Goku already has his disciple with Oob. Let's see something with like Tien's disciple. That's the route that Dragon Ball needs to take. Have our characters just not have more kids, but just give them more disciples. People that they can learn from. People that they can teach and also learn from too.
Look how handsome Trunks looks with that serious expression.
He's from the future, right? I wonder what the three of us are up to over in that alternate timeline.
I heard
Dead.
that almost
Probably
all
dead.
of humanity was wiped out by the androids.
Traveling back in time to the past in order to change the future was a real feat of science.
Yeah, no, seriously, Bulma. That's the biggest feat of science imaginable. Time travel? Time travel? That's it. You're one. You're one at science.
Trunks can become a Super Saiyan just like Vegeta. Almost reminds me of Goku when he's like this.
Like delinquent father, like delinquent son. Next, you'll be turning blonde, Bulma.
Hey,
Just like your mother.
handsome, no matter the hairstyle or the hair color.
I doubt that.
I like how more appreciative Bulma is about the Super Saiyan golden hair. She just doesn't see it as like a delinquent thing. She's just like, you're handsome. Bulma's so great. The dichotomy between Bulma and Chi-Chi is just hilarious. See how different they both are because of like just the way that they grew up and like the households that they come from. It's just so sweet. Chi-Chi's very traditional while Bulma's very carefree. But Bulma's also the smartest woman on the planet, and then Chi-Chi's married to the strongest man on the planet. So, yeah.
My son is excellent with a sword, but even more skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Probably gets it from Vegeta.
They're training together a lot, aren't they?
It'll be interesting to see how our timeline's Trunks grows up.
He's probably going to be nothing like this Trump. Our timeline Trunks is not going to be anything as cold as this Trunks, but I'm surprised they didn't bring up the purple hair too. Like, yo, he's got purple hair. The fuck? Can we please bring that up that he dyed his hair so that just doesn't become like a weird, just okay thing that we just pretend doesn't exist? Also, I wonder how Vegeta feels about Trunks using a sword. I'm sure he doesn't like it, knowing Vegeta, but still. I'm curious to see what he would say.
You know, Trunks has such good manners. For a delinquent.
For a delinquent,
But
what?
when he transforms, it usually means he's about to risk his life in battle, which always...
It means that Trunks is about to crash out, honestly. When Trunks transforms, he's ready to crash out.
Seriously.
Dead ass. Like, just dead ass.
Look at the size of those biceps. Well,
It's abnormal.
good to know your son is staying healthy.
Nah, I can't lie. His physique doesn't match up well with the beautiful face he inherited from me.
Saiyans really do have strange physiques. Can Gohan transform this way too?
Can't believe you guys aren't saying anything about that spiky ass hair though. Oh my goodness. Dude, it looks like a Pokemon on his head. It looks like Zapdos is on his head. That's his name, right? Zapdos. Oh my goodness. Look at that thing, bro. Looks like a freaking Sonic character. Still cool though.
This is when he came back from the future again.
How could I forget? It was when that Goku doppelganger was messing up the future.
And his
Poor
hair is
Trunks.
dyed
It
blue.
seems
His
like he's
hair
always
is
been
dyed
faced with
blue.
hardship.
Jocko said that using time travel so much wasn't a good idea. But what other choice did I have but to help out my son? Trunks sure has gotten strong, hasn't he?
Yes, it's so relieving to see our kids growing up into respectable adults.
And he has Bardock's headband on
You
his
should be proud.
neck.
Oh, my clever little boy. Even when he's being a brat, he's just the cutest.
I'm so glad that Goten has another kid his age to play with.
Those two get up to a lot of trouble together, but it's always a ton of fun to watch.
Now this is a delinquent. This is a freaking delinquent. Trunks, when he has a dad in his life, ooh, thinks he can get away with anything.
Seems like no time at all that Trunks transformed as well. Vegeta was so caught off guard, he called it a Super
Saiyan bargain sale.
Yeah, I've heard that Gohan had a lot of trouble.
Some things just come easier to others.
That is a bargain sale though. It is a bargain sale. Like, dang, you get a Super Saiyan, you get a Super Saiyan, you get a Super Saiyan.
This little cutie's my second son, Goten. He's got a real talent for martial arts.
Chi-Chi, you used to spar with Goten, didn't you?
Surprisingly,
I
she
can
did.
totally see that. After all, you were tough enough to reach the quarterfinals of the World Tournament.
Hey, if I don't want him to become a delinquent, I need to raise him to be strong and dependable.
That's some tough love.
But why was she so okay with training him into martial arts and not Gohan? You want Gohan to have nothing to do with fighting, even if it meant defending himself, but maybe it was just because it was just such peaceful days, just years of peaceful days. Maybe that's why. It's just, I don't know. And there was no danger for Goten to fight. That's why she's just like, okay, well, in case a danger does come up, I just want my baby boy to at least be able to fight and defend himself, which makes sense. It makes sense, but still, like, I feel like you should have had that same mindset for Kid Gohan as well, too.
Ah, I knew this would happen sooner or later. Every Saiyan eventually becomes a spiky-haired delinquent.
Goten is so powerful, despite the fact that he's just a little kid.
The first time he transformed, I was furious. But then again, what else should I have expected from Goku's son?
And just like that, Trunks could also turn Super Saiyan. It was such a shock since no one actually taught him how.
You know, they just learned on their own. That's just kind of crazy. They were just able to unlock. That would be one of the most craziest things about Dragon Ball to me. It was just how easily that Trunks and Goten were able to achieve Super Saiyan. Like, it's just, I would love just like a small explanation on how and why. Like, maybe since, like, the thing that just makes the most sense to me is that Vegeta and Goku both had these children after the point when they already like achieved Super Saiyan. I guess it just made their sperm stronger. We're Vegeta.
This is the fusion of Goku and Vegeta after wearing the Patara earrings.
There was some uncertainty on this, but you can only stay fused for an hour until you run out of energy.
I've always wondered, would a fused person be fed with a meal for one, or do they need to eat twice as much?
Twice as much for sure.
This is Vegeto's super form that he became while fighting against Boo. Even turned into candy, he could still kick some tail.
He's usually a little cocky. But like this, he's as cool as a cucumber.
Yep, getting cocky while fighting a dangerous enemy is a bad habit.
He was still pretty cocky in Super Saiyan, if I'm being honest with you.
Vegeta Blue, he called it? There's so many frickin' transformations, it's hard to keep track sometimes.
Freaking love
He tried on
Chi-Chi.
this form for the first time to take on Goku Black and Zamasu.
Wow. I wonder how much stronger they can get, even beyond that.
Yeah, no, Ultra Ego, stacked with Ultra Instinct, maxed out, like, yo. I don't care how fanfic-y it sounds, I wanna see it. I wanna see Goku Master Ultra Instinct fuse with Vegeta Ultra Ego.
This is Gogeta as a Super Saiyan. When did they do this for the first time again?
They fused in Otherworld at a point when they were both dead at the same time.
Unbelievable.
Filler.
Goku's a delinquent even
A great
when he's
filler.
dead.
Goku's a delinquent even when he's dead. Hey. He wasn't being a delinquent, he was stopping the delinquents from coming out, okay? Delinquents like Hitler. So listen, he was keeping the delinquents at bay, if anything.
The fusion of Goku and Vegeta. Wait, how is it different from Vegito?
Because
This
it's
version is the
Gogeta.
result of them performing the fusion dance. It's a lot more difficult than just putting on some earrings.
Trunks and Goten had to do the same thing. Vegeta was not a fan of those silly poses.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. But he endured. And learned quick, which means that he's pretty good at dancing, if he wanted to be.
Gogeta looks great when he goes super.
I'm tired of saying all this super stuff.
Super.
All right.
Gogeta is so immensely powerful, he was able to stop Broly's rampage.
Is this their strongest transformation of all then?
I don't know. We certainly had some nice things to say, so maybe Blue is best.
Nah, it's okay. Blue isn't best, though. Which Gogeta is y'all's favorite, Z's or Supers? Let me know down below. I like Z more. This is the god of all Gogetas.
Who's this supposed to be?
Is it Goku? Or maybe Vegeta? He's got a tail, it looks like, so maybe...
Either way, this guy looks kind of scary.
He's a goofball, believe me. No, I take it back. I like Super Gogeta more. Yeah, I mean, V Gogeta, sure. Orange vest is cool or whatever. Honestly, I do think the black and yellow works better on him. Especially in base, and we have a base form for this Gogeta. And this Gogeta has more style and sauce. We see him exert more style and sauce. Da-da-da-da!
My sweet baby Goten. He's turned into such a little troublemaker.
He hasn't inherited a lot of Trunks' better qualities. Always getting carried away as soon as a fight begins.
It's cool that they're always so full of energy, but I don't like how much they push their opponent's buttons.
Did she admit that's Trunks' quality? Did she really admit that that's Trunks being the reason
My
why
sweet
he
baby
shit talks so
Goten.
much?
He's turned into such a little
Because if it is, then
troublemaker.
Trunks really,
He hasn't inherited
yeah,
a lot
Trunks
of
really
Trunks'
does
better
run
qualities.
that fusion.
Always getting carried
Trunks
away
runs
as
this
soon as
fusion.
a fight begins.
It's cool that they're always so full of energy, but I don't like how
But
much
hey,
they
even though
push
Trunks
their
does
opponent's
run this
buttons.
fusion, still named after Goten first. Go Tanks. It's like all Goten, barely any Trunks, but works better.
Trunkton, Gotenks. Did you say Righteous Grim Reaper or some nonsense? Have some class.
Names like the Die,
Missile Barrage.
were a bit much.
Not easy parenting these two, I know, but their sense of naming stuff is about what you'd expect from kids.
Oh, his eyebrows are gone. His delinquency has reached a new level.
A
What do we
new
do about
level of
this boy?
delinquency!
What? Oh, yeah, he looks a little delinquentish, I guess.
Whatever makes them happy, I guess.
Whatever makes him stronger. Look at little Vidua.
Hey, that's me and my good old high school days.
I admit, when Gohan first brought you over, I had my doubts.
Now that you mention it, you pretty much gave us your blessing to get married right there on the spot, didn't you?
Hey, when I see a rich girl living in a house the size of a small village, you bet I want her engaged to my son.
At least she's
You're
honest.
a real mistress of subtlety, Chi-Chi.
I like that about you, Chi-Chi. I would be honest as fuck like that too.
This old fossil is a legendary martial artist who's trained Goku and Krillin since they were kids.
He's a skilled fighter and all, but why, oh why, does he have to be such a pervert?
Uh-huh. I've heard a lot of rumors about this guy.
He's looked the same for so
Dang,
many
oh my
years.
god. See, Roshi, this is what happens when you act like a perv so nonchalantly. You scare the hoes. Make them talk bad about you in their girl talk. You don't want that. Have some
Colonel
class,
Herman drops
Roshi.
the perversion and gets serious. He's a tough one. To handle training Goku, he'd have to be.
He always gave it his all, whether it be when Frieza came to Earth or at the Tournament of Power.
He looks so different compared to when he's relaxing at Kame House.
I wish there was a costume with Roshi with the purple turtle shell on. The Frieza, 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 the Frieza.
Frieza is the evil tyrant who destroyed planet Vegeta. He's so powerful that he just glides around in his stupid little hovercraft.
His power level was around
I wish I had the hovercraft.
530,000. Really high up
Whoa,
on
okay,
himself.
specific, Bulma. How do you know
How
that?
strong is 530,000 in the grand scheme of things?
That's pretty strong.
Who the heck knows?
Well, who knows at this point, but I mean, 530K back in the day, back in my day, was pretty goddamn strong, okay?
Frieza turned into this brutish thing after Vegeta coaxed it out of him.
Krillin got impaled on one of his horns. Gohan
Yeah, it was
told me
bad.
it
It was a bad sight.
gruesome to watch.
My little angel Gohan
Bad
battles
sight
a
for
monster
Krillin.
like this? I knew I shouldn't have let him go to planet Namek.
This is easily like Frieza's most menacing form, you know what I mean? Like, this is like the last form you would want to be up against when fighting Frieza, that you would want to like see killing you, honestly. Like, sure, it might not be his strongest, but it's definitely probably his most terrifying. This one's just ugly. Scary ugly, though. Like horror movie ugly.
Ugh! Now he's got this elongated skull. Disgusting.
Honestly, I think he looked stronger before.
You think the stretched out head was intentional? Or was that just part of the transformation without him knowing?
I'd rather not put myself in Frieza's mind.
But that's a really good point. I feel like maybe that was a part of the transformation without him knowing.
This is what he looks like most often these days.
You know what? He kind of looks better without the horns.
He's got a nightmarish aura about him.
He really does. Funny enough, I had a nightmare about Frieza once when I was a kid. And I was like super young. It was actually like, wow, yeah, that's so funny that I'm thinking about this now. It was such a funny dream. Just long story short, I don't know why, but I was on Namek for some reason. And yeah, Frieza just wanted to kill me. He wanted me dead. I don't know what the hell I did. Maybe I made fun of his height. I did something to piss this motherfucker off. And the only person that I needed like protection, of course. I needed a bodyguard. I don't know why I was on Namek, but my plan was just to get the fuck off Namek. And my only bodyguard was Raditz. So the dream was literally just Frieza chasing me and Raditz down. And Raditz is like my only source of protection, which made me even more scared because I knew he couldn't defend me. Oh my god.
This
Steroid
is when
Frieza.
Frieza gathered all his strength.
Creatine
Beat
Frieza.
himself up.
Judging by the size alone, the second form still looked a lot stronger than this.
Yeah, the second form
I guess
looks
it
the
must be his most
strongest.
powerful form.
Maybe we'll never fully understand all these transformations.
It's pretty simple, honestly.
After Goku defeated him, Frieza came back with a cybernetic body.
Repairing yourself with mechanical parts. There's some truly incredible technology we have now.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bulma could do it.
Until Trunks came in and made cold cuts out of him.
Knowing Bulma, she probably could have, like, regenerated the parts of Frieza just fully. Honestly, using stem cells or some shit. Who knows? That woman defies God for some reason in her story. Which is why the gods are so mad at her all the time.
Still don't know if Whis bringing Frieza back to life was the best idea. After all, he said that he had no intention of turning over a new leaf.
At least he had no delusions that what he was doing was evil.
If he does anything really bad, we'll just have Goku deal with him again.
That's very interesting, that Whis was the one to revive Frieza. For some reason, I thought it was Baba, because I think Frieza was still only alive for like 1 day, right? So maybe that's just like a rule in the world of Dragon Ball. There are certain people who can bring back the dead. I don't even know how Baba can do it, honestly. She must be using the same methods that Whis uses, though, because they're both stricken with this 1 day time. It's a 1 day rule, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. I guess it's because of the authority of King Yama. Like, they have to still respect Yama's authority and only allow people to come back to life. If they're coming back to life through methods that aren't the Dragon Balls, then it can only be for 1 day. Like, it has to be. And then, if not, then you're getting your ass pulled back to hell or heaven.
Still don't know if Whis bringing Frieza back to life was the best idea. After all, he said that he had no intention of turning over
So that's
a new
interesting.
leaf.
Whis really did bring him back. And then Golden Frieza.
Whoa! It's so shiny, I'm almost blinded by it.
Turning golden when you power up. It's so much like a Super Saiyan.
In other words, it's Frieza's delinquent form.
Yeah, it is his delinquent form. Also, notice how his full body is just purple too. Just the purple and gold, no white. No white. Just gold and purple. I like it. I like this form for Frieza, actually. As much as I don't like Resurrection F, this form does look nice. It's probably his second best looking form. I'd say, like, this is his... Well, alright, for me personally, okay, I would say that Frieza first form is my first favorite. I just like this form a lot. I don't care if he looks like a drag queen. I mean, this form to me is just menacing, and just the way that he is perceived. The first time that we are introduced to Frieza, he's just so cold. Like, this is his coldest form. Like, the only one that's like close to reaching first form Frieza to me is second form or fourth form. This form, final form Frieza, is like Frieza. This is the definition of Frieza as his character. This is his character. If anything, this might as well just be Frieza base. The reason why we even have these other three is because he has to, like, suppress his base form so much because he's just that strong that he has to suppress it to this ugly thing, this muscular thing, and then this drag queen thing. So I like it. I just like the concept of it in general, and it's just so cool. Frieza is one of my favorite villains of all time. Probably my favorite villain of all time. Like, I like Frieza just a little bit more than Madara. Yeah, Frieza's great. I love how petulant he is. I love how condescending he is, and I love how evil and nihilistic he is. He's just the definition of what I want in a villain. And then we have Cell. Wanna see me drink this guy?
This thing looks very unique.
This was Dr. Giro's ultimate android creation. He absorbs the bio-extract of humans to make himself stronger.
He devoured entire city populations, all for the sake of attaining a transformation.
Yeah, like he absorbed a whole city. This Cell's a menace. A sneaky menace. A real weasel, this one.
This is Cell after absorbing number 17.
Yep, Vegeta
Look
fought
at his
this
big
free.
lips.
Why does he look like that?
Even 17 couldn't make him any more human-like, or any less repulsive.
Yeah, this form is gross, honestly. Definitely, like, even also, like, just a tier below third form Frieza. This transformation kind of sucks. He's so whiny, too, and just a little bit obnoxious. It's just annoying. But he's still powerful. I guess there's like some cool aspects to him. I mean, I'm trying to see what I actually like about this cell. And there's really just not much. I like the lips.
After Cell absorbed 17 and 18, he went on to host his own tournament called the Cell Games. What a strange thing to do.
I couldn't believe it when I found out Gohan defeated him when he was just a kid.
Goku always pushes things too far. Piccolo was really angry at him.
Yeah, Piccolo was furious. He was standing up for you in that moment, Chi-Chi. But this is Perfect Cell. This is, the Cell that was the pinnacle of all villains for a certain amount of time. And I mean, Perfect Form Cell is just a great transformation. Honestly, no complaints. No complaints at all. It's such a big, improvement compared to this Cell. And just what he even represents and what he is. Like, this is Cell right here when he's just achieved everything he's ever wanted. This is what the gas was about. This is what the hype was about. And honestly, he showed up for it. He showed up. He showed out. One thing too that I really like about this model is the little tint of blue on Cell's skin. I love that. I love Perfect Cell with his skin color more blue than white. You know what I mean? Like in Budokai 1, his skin color was a lot more blue in some scenes, and I really love that. It's just a nice contrast to the green and the black wings. It looks so cool. And this is Perfect Cell. Wow, there's really no difference between these two cells, bro. When you take away the lightning, it really is just Cell. Maybe he's a little bit shinier. That's about it. Just a little bit shinier.
But he came back even stronger than before.
Perfecter Cell? It never ends with this guy.
I used to call him Complete Perfect Cell. I thought that was his name.
He deserves
Complete
to rot
Perfect.
in the underworld.
Wait, what did she say about the underworld? What?
Not only did he survive self-destructing, but he came back even stronger than before.
Perfecter Cell? It never ends with this guy.
For all the horrible things he did, he deserves to rot in the underworld.
Oh, dang. Never mind, she said he deserves to rot in hell. I thought she was saying oh, he was causing a trouble in the underworld or something. Little shout out to TFS's Hiffle or something, but no, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, he did some fuck shit. Deserves to die in hell.
Cell created a bunch of miniature copies of himself, but Gohan eradicated all 7 of them. Or was it 8?
Considering just one of them was strong enough to overpower Vegeta, it's incredible how easily Gohan took them all out.
And he's usually so calm and kind-hearted. I can't even picture that.
Yeah, no. Gohan destroyed these little fucks. It's interesting though, she said 7 or 8, so implying that maybe one could have escaped. And I think there is a little Dragon Ball Super side story. I don't know if it was in the anime, but I think it was in the manga. I think, don't hold me to this. But from what I heard, a couple Cell Juniors managed to actually escape Gohan's wrath. Maybe it could have just been one that managed to escape and he was able to reproduce, because I'm sure Cell Juniors can probably duplicate if they wanted to. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. But maybe just one escaped and he was able to duplicate, and apparently they went to 17's island and they got their ass beat by 17, since 17's doing his big boy, his man, 16 justice by protecting the earth, the wildlife, the birds, the forest, the trees, the birds. Yeah, so apparently they came to the island, they started doing some stupid shit, and then 17 had to knock their asses for it. But they were so afraid of 17 that instead of causing more of a ruckus, they just stayed there as 17's training dummy, which is why 17 is so strong and super. I don't know if that's a fanfic thing or if that's just something fans made up, but I really, really like that idea. I think it's cool. And I think it really fits Dragon Ball. And it's just something to give to the Cell Juniors when it comes to at least more character development for what they were able to work with.
This is Boo, who lives at our house now. All he ever does is eat and sleep, but he's actually super powerful.
I know he's tremendously
What a freeloader,
strong,
dude.
But why wasn't he in the Tournament of Power again?
He ended up training a little too hard. And then he took a nap that he couldn't wake up from in time. Oops.
It's so funny, like Majin Buu is like a freeloader, and the only reason why is because if he wasn't a freeloader, there's just a possibility that he could destroy the planet. So we kind of just have to let him freeload and just make him happy. But hey, he's still a good friend nevertheless. He's a friend that eats up all your food in the fridge, but he's a good friend nevertheless. Oof, pure evil, Buu.
This guy was made from all the evil that Boo expelled from himself into a separate being. He's so pale and emaciated.
He looks really unhealthy here.
Yeah, he does look unhealthy.
Majin Buu is long gone. To us,
He looks like he's a long way away from water. He's a long walk away from water. A long way to water. Go read that book. It's a great book, kids. A Long Walk to Water. I'm sorry, that's the name of the book. A Long Walk to Water. Super Boo. This is my favorite Boo. I love the neck tilt.
Absorbed the good Boo, he became even more evil.
Piccolo said Boo never tried to hurt my dad, even when he was like this.
Yeah.
He didn't.
And now they're the best of
He really
friends.
didn't. Even this Boo cared about Satan.
This is Boo after he absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo. How could he do that to my baby boy?
He also absorbed their worst personality traits.
With how many people he
And
can
Piccolo's
absorb at
brain.
once, I don't even want to think about what the inside of Majin Buu's body looks like.
One thing that I do like about Boo's absorption is that it not only changes his power level and even his physique to a certain degree, it changes his mindset. So it changes like the person that he is, because he's being fed so many different influences, and he knows basically probably everything about the people's past that he's absorbed and just their overall intelligence. It's really cool. It's really cool. I love Majin Buu's absorption. It's actually one of my favorite type of transformations, I guess you could say, in Dragon Ball, because Buu can absorb anybody, so there's so much you can do with that. There's so many cool different types of Boos you can have because of that one ability, and I love that. I love that so much. And he can just stack it with his abilities too. Maybe even combine it with his abilities, depending on who it is.
He even absorbed
Look at that smile.
my poor Gohan. Actually,
That
I
cocky
forget.
smile.
How did he and the others escape from inside of it?
Our husbands fused into Vegito, let themselves be absorbed into his body, and then ripped Gohan and the others out of their imprisonment.
Rip them out?
It was a
Okay,
Magic School
now
Bus
I'm
episode.
kind of
Just say it was a
curious,
Magic
but
School Bus episode.
How the heck would Boo be able to show me what his insides look like?
His inside looks like hell, honestly. It almost looks like hell. Like Dragon Ball's hell. It's just missing the floating colored balls in the sky, but it's basically hell. And then everyone else's favorite Boo. This is a great Boo too as well. Kid Boo is arguably the best Boo, because this is Boo. This is what he came out as. This is the definition of a Majin.
This was Majin Buu's last form when Goku was able to defeat him. He doesn't talk much. Not a thought behind those eyes.
He got so tiny all of a sudden.
Don't let his size fool you. It took a spirit bomb with energy gathered from everyone on Earth to defeat him. And even then, it was a close call.
Barely made it out alive, yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Kid Buu can beat Gohan Absorbed Buu? Because I honestly think that sure, Gohan Absorbed Buu is technically stronger than Kid Buu, but I think this Kid Buu can definitely stand his own. He can definitely stand his own against him. Like, he'll give him a hard fight. It won't be easy. Sure, maybe he won't win, but I mean, if he's quick enough, he probably could win. He just has to disintegrate this Buu faster than this Buu can disintegrate him. And this Buu probably has faster rapid regeneration. Since he's not a bunch of people in one, his thoughts are more like set, you know what I mean? Like, they're more just like one focused thing. Like, he's just ready to kill and destroy, and that's it. Kill, destroy, and violate. Those are the three things going on in Buu's head at all times. Kill, destroy, violate. Think of him as like Sukuna if he couldn't speak.
That's my dad, the world champion, Mr.
Mr. Satan.
Still such a popular guy. People named an entire city in his honor after he defeated Cell, as we all know.
I know. He's gotten all these accolades that our friends deserve for how hard they fought to protect us.
Hey, he's a charismatic guy. It happens. I can't imagine how insufferable Vegeta would be if he let things go to his head.
You know what? He's worked hard and done a lot for us. I hope Mr. Satan continues to do his best going forward.
And he does. Hercule's very important for the Dragon Ball world. Like, we actually need him on our Z-Fighter team, because without Hercule, then all of the press, all the publicity, all of it would just be on our Z-Fighter heroes, and they genuinely do not need that every day in their constant everyday lives. Like, it would just suck. It would really just suck. Having to deal with paparazzis, having to deal with what society does to you when you have influence and status and popularity. It's just too much. Like, yeah. Thank you, Hercule, for the things you do. Thank you, Satan. And I rebuke that in the Lord of Jesus. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke that. Next. Shiatsu! Here we go!
He and Tien Shinhan used to train under the sinister Crane Hermit. Also, for some reason, he's always looked like he's a tiny baby.
Despite
I
how
wanna know the
cute
reason.
he looks, I know he's like a telekinetic assassin or something, right? Underestimate him.
That's a funny way of wording it, but yeah, Videl, you're right.
He has a
You're right.
brave and honorable side to him. One time, he gave his life for Tien Shinhan with a kamikaze attack.
You really did do that shit. You're the best Pokemon, Geodude.
He's hung out a lot with Goku and Krillin. These days, I think he spends a lot of time at Korin's tower.
Is Yajirobe a farmer?
Yeah, they're married.
He always seems to be
Him
bringing
and Gorin.
beans to Goku and Piccolo.
Those are sensu beans. I've tried some before. Not sure how they work, but they always help Goku and his friends get healed up.
He's the Bean Daddy. Bean Daddy Yajirobe. Thank you, Bean Daddy.
This girl, I get the weirdest feeling that I know her from somewhere.
Same here.
Oh wow, so they don't know her.
Doesn't she look like someone we know?
Wait, actually, she looks a lot like my little Pan, doesn't she?
Look! This is a little glimpse into the future of your daughter all grown up.
I'm happy we all got to experience this. This is little Pan. Yeah, this is Pan when... I'm not a big fan of this Pan. I'm not gonna lie. She's very annoying in GT. But she has her admirable qualities as well, too. She does. She does.
He's such a polite young man.
Definitely
Yeah, Boo's a good
well-mannered.
kid. Oob's a good kid.
Maybe not so strong.
Don't ask me why, but I
Not
feel
so
like he's a
strong. He just doesn't know how to
million times
control it.
stronger than he looks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if he trained
exactly.
properly, he could take on Goku, don't you think?
Okay, I don't know about that. Let's calm down. We haven't seen enough of that to make that assumption, but maybe he can hold his own against Tien Shinhan, but that's about it, alright? Everyone else is kicking his ass. Even Krillin. Even Krillin. And then Majub, yay, spikier hair, a little bit lighter skin. Oob.
Now,
Not a fan of
looks
this
like a
one.
strong
Not a fan of this
fighter.
one that much.
I bet Goku would want to fight him.
Well, he is always looking for his next challenge.
Bardock.
This was Goku's father who died many years ago. I'd love to meet him someday when I pass away.
He looks a lot like Goku, but way more serious.
If he's a Saiyan, I bet good money he was killed by Frieza, wasn't he? Oh, poor
The
guy.
first one to die by
I'm
him.
grateful that he delivered my Goku here to me on our little blue planet. I can't believe this nasty jerk was Goku's older brother. He was plotting an invasion and mistreated my precious Gohan.
He was described to me as
Yeah,
violent,
Reddit's pulled up as like the
cruel,
ultimate menace.
hot-blooded. The total opposite of Goku.
Thank goodness it was Goku who landed on Earth first.
I was actually thinking about this recently. Raditz was a great introduction for a Dragon Ball villain. He's really, really great. Like, he looks cool, first of all. He's got really cool armor. He looks strong as hell. Like, look how buff he is. He looks buffer than Super Saiyan 3 in this for some reason, which is why, like, I don't understand. This is the model they should have given to Super Saiyan 3. Like, the muscles and everything, the physique, it just fits Super Saiyan 3. But still, Nevertheless, Raditz was just a menace when he first pulled up. He was so cool. Like, he pulled up, killed a farmer, beat Piccolo's ass, and then went up to Goku's family reunion and said, hey, I'm taking your kid with me. Let me make it clear. If you don't follow and join me at the end of this specific time today and kill 100 bodies and pile them up in front of me, I will kill your son in front of you and leave this planet. Leave destroying this planet. He just came up so cold. Seriously, like, even, like, he had a harder introduction than Vegeta and Nappa did, if I'm being honest with you. Like, Raditz is pulled up as a really cool villain. And it took 2 people to stop him, so I mean, for as much shit that Raditz kind of gets a little bit, I feel like he's kind of got more of his, like, respect and accolades as of recent times, but...
This is a bioweapon that the Frieza Force uses. They're man-made creatures that are instantly born from seeds.
Their self-destruct attack is so unsettling.
Life is fleeting.
Yeah, you can just grow them like Raditzes. Get it? Because they're all as strong as Raditz.
Look how strong this guy is. He and Vegeta came to invade Earth many years ago.
In the end, Vegeta finished him off for not being useful anymore.
Vegeta was
Cold-blooded.
a real villain back then, huh?
Cold-blooded, and no one wished his ass back too. Let him stay dead. No one cares about you. Nappa's a good villain too. I mean, he's like the definition of like what a villain would do to you to like make you lose hope of everything. And then Goku being the hero to like trample that, but still. Nappa's fun. I actually really like Nappa's character a lot. He's a really cool villain to me. I like him a lot. I like what he represented in Dragon Ball. He's always a fun boss fight in all the video games because it's like your first test of like a buffed up, smarter, wiser Goku. It's just, you know, I like the wall that Nappa represents to Goku. And for the Z fighters as well too. And I mean, and he gave us an emotional moment with Piccolo and Gohan. He's the one that solidifies the relationship to like that final push, you know what I mean? Like, he's the one that solidifies the relationship between Gohan and Piccolo. Like, yeah, you really are like my nephew. It's cute. It's cute. Thank you for the things that you've done for us, Nappa.
This aggravatingly handsome guy was one of Frieza's right-hand men.
He is pretty. Oh, yeah.
I'd be able to
Oh, yeah.
appreciate his looks if he wasn't a sleazy villain.
Yeah. Probably, you know, man, Starbomb be piping on the low too.
He ain't so pretty now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
until he goes
no.
into this transformation.
I like his first form better.
Sacrifice
Negative bitches.
beauty in favor of power.
Even with the boosted strength, he barely stood a chance against Vegeta.
Vegeta still blew his load on him.
The way this freak talks, the way he violently attacks people, and how gross he is.
And how gross he is.
He was
Oh,
a former colleague of
the
Vegeta's
roast,
as well.
Chi-Chi, the
When he
roast.
quit, he wiped out Dodoria in an instant.
Huh? You mean Vegeta used to work for the Frieza Force too?
Let's just say I try to leave Vegeta's past in the past.
It's a pretty dark past, I don't blame you.
Huh. He's got the armor of Frieza's minions, but I don't recognize him.
He's pretty unremarkable. Tried to
Quite-
get Vegeta with
quite
a
literally
really lame
unremarkable.
surprise attack, only to be blown to smithereens out of the sky.
Youch. That's gotta be one terrible fireworks show.
They were pretty dirty fireworks.
Unforgivable. This jerk took over my beloved Goku's body.
He could have been your husband. He was your husband for a minute.
Gohan. How dare he?
This guy is the lowest of the low. A true warrior would fight fair and square with their own body.
Did he ever end up back in his own body?
Long story short, he screwed up and wound up swapping with the body of an alien frog. He escaped back then. Probably still out there somewhere.
It's funny to think that, like, even though Namek is, like, only Namekians, you know, no females, it's only males, they still have, like, their own sort of wildlife there. I don't know if it's just only frogs. I mean, I hope maybe there's a Namekian green deer out there, but still, it's interesting to think. Just, is the only other life form on Namek just frogs? Alien frogs? Raccoon! Pose!
of these hinge guys with the same armor. I can barely tell them apart.
This guy was Raccoon from the Ginyu Force. Yet another guy that Goku defeated in battle.
This muscle frame and the orange mohawk? I remember one of the androids looks kind of like him.
Oh, the one who became friends with Gohan? I don't think that's the same guy.
He does look like him though, doesn't he? That's something I've noticed like a while ago. That's so funny that they brought that up. Wow. It is so funny y'all brought that shit up. He does kind of resemble 16 a little bit. Less flamboyant though. Less flamboyant.
The blue hurricane of the Ginyu Force. He calls himself the fastest in the universe.
In the end, he was all talk and Goku beat him easily.
Still
much
pretty
for being
fast.
Fastest, huh?
I bet if Goku fought him today, he could beat him running backwards.
He most likely could, yes, you're right. Red magma.
The red magma of the Ginyu Force. Second in command, Jace. He's actually kind of cute.
Yeah, but the weird poses he does sort of kills it for me.
I don't get his outfit. Long sleeves and shorts? What? Is it winter on his arms and summer on his legs?
Okay, well, you know, that's a good point, yeah. That's kind of tacky. But hey, Jace, at least they called you handsome. Goldo, you know they're about to roast his fat ass.
He's a member of the Ginyu Force who uses telekinesis. I heard Krillin and Gohan had a hard time with him.
Whoa, this guy's got 4 eyes. Must be nice to be able to see in all directions.
He was on planet Namek, but I never caught a glimpse of him.
Yeah, Goldo, the most unrecognizable Ginyu Force member. One with probably the least amount of clout and influence. But hey, you know, I'm pretty sure Goldo was actually the newest recruit to the Ginyu Force. I don't know if they replaced him with someone else or if he was just the last one to get entry into the team, but he's important. He's definitely loved by the Force as well too. Funny enough, the Ginyu Force are actually pairs. So you know how Berter and Jace is a pair? Goldo and Raccoon are a pair. They're actually a little bit closer to each other and have a closer relationship compared to these two. But yeah, Ginyu Force is a nice little happy family. Sentai Fossil. And then the leader of everything, the king of kings, King Cold.
It's Frieza's dad. I wonder if he can change into all sorts of different forms as well.
Trunks obliterated him in about 2 seconds, so I couldn't
I
tell
wonder
ya.
that too.
Barely remember him.
I think he's in hell with the other bad guys. Serves him right.
Yeah, King of Hell. Oh, not King of Hell, but he's his own King of Hell. But that is something I'm curious about too. So one theory that I've actually heard back in the day when I was like younger was that King Cold. So apparently, okay, well it's just a theory, but it's a fun little theory. But apparently, King Cold actually does have a fourth form, a fourth and final form, just like Frieza, and Cooler as well too. But the reason that we don't see it and he just looks like a second form version of Frieza is because when he gave birth to Frieza, a fraction of that power had to go to Frieza, like giving birth to him. Because I'm pretty sure they reproduce asexually. I don't think King Cold has a wife. I don't think Frieza has a mother. I'm pretty sure they reproduce asexually. So like, they lay eggs, kind of like people, or the slug people, the Namekian people. But it's interesting to think about. I mean, I would actually like that a lot more. Compared to if he just, if he does have a final form, that would be cool. I would like to see it, I guess, but it would just look a lot like Frieza, probably a bit more purple. Like maybe he'll probably look a lot more like Cooler, especially since Cooler's the first son. But yeah. So we gotta remember a fraction of that power went to Cooler as well too. You know, imagine King Cold at his peak, like when he just first started reigning and becoming an empire over planets. Oh my god, dude, he must have been the biggest menace in the world. In the universe, in the solar system, honestly.
This is an android created by Dr. Giro. He loves nature and animals, and he even became friends with Gohan.
Despite being made by the same guy, each of the androids have such distinct personalities.
Very
Maybe
distinct.
it's because they're each based on a unique model of some kind?
Not even that, honestly. It's just because what they're modeled off are actual human beings. And that's confirmed. Like, 18 was a real person before she became Android 18. Same with 17. They were actually siblings, like real life siblings. Their names were Lapis and Lazuli, which is also a pun on the gemstones. And 16 was based off of Android 20's son, so Dr. Giroux's son. That's why he's actually modeled to look like exactly like his son. Apparently, he looks exactly like Giroux's son. And I think even the way he acts is a little bit similar to the way his son was as well, too. Like, I'm sure Giroux's son was probably somebody who just appreciated nature, you know what I mean? I don't know if he worked for Red Ribbon, but I don't think he could have been a bad guy. I think he could have been a great guy. And I feel like 16, the way he acts and moves is a homage to that. I would hope it is, at least. I would hope it's a homage to that, but who knows?
This is 18's twin brother. Back then, he was really mean-spirited and cruel.
He was a real problem for Dr. Giroux, constantly disobeying his orders and all.
He was converted into an android.
He also
against
killed
his will,
Giroux.
wasn't he? Can't blame him for his bad attitude.
Yeah, I would have a bad attitude too. I wonder how that happened. Like, I wonder if there was like a period of time where Giroux maybe even raised 17 and 18 for a short period of time before he turned them into androids. Like, kidnapped them, raised them, influenced them, whatever, into doing the experiments, and then boom, this is what happened. And as a result of that, that's what made the androids kind of just crack and break mentally in Trunks' timeline. Just that experience of you like being human before and having those memories, and then just boom, being a complete cold-blooded killing machine. You're a Terminator. Like, yeah, you can't blame the androids for what they did. You kind of gotta respect them for how sincere and warm-hearted they are in Z, in our timeline at least. How much nicer they are. But the only reason why they're like that is because of this bundle of joy right here. It's because of 16. It's because of 16's influence, him keeping them on that morally good, righteous path of actually appreciating wildlife and the earth and the planet and all the beauties that it has to give. It's because of him like instilling that wisdom into these two right here. It's why they turned out the way they did, and I love that. I love that so much, that little detail. That just because the main reason why Trunks' future is the way it is because they didn't have a 16. 16 changes everything about our timeline.
Looks like 17's chilled out a bit. These days, he protects the forest on a remote
And he has a
island.
family.
He's a dad.
Yeah, he's
When
a
he won
dad.
the Tournament of Power
He has
for
like
us,
4
I
kids.
know he wanted a nice boat for him and his family.
And I'm sure his wife is
I
hot.
wish to save our universe instead.
Well, I gave him an expensive cruiser, so
The wish was fulfilled. Yeah,
Just
literally,
what I'd expect
Bulma
from
can
the richest
probably
woman on Earth.
make more than half of the people in the Dragon Ball planet's wishes come true just by herself without Dragon Balls, which is also, I guess, a little bit of a good excuse of how abusive she is with the Dragon Ball's mystical powers and how many wishes she makes for petty personal gains. But still, Bulma can make any wish come true for you just with money and power. That's why it's important to get your bread up, kids. Money equals freedom. Never forget that.
Gotta say, Krillin scored himself a gorgeous wife.
A
I
real
wonder
baddie.
if cyborgs like her and her brother age after they've been mechanically altered.
They do not.
Guess
They
only
don't
time will
age.
tell.
Does that mean
Krillin has a
18
wife that will
be
never
young and
age.
Beautiful forever?
Yes.
A wife who's young forever. What more could a guy dream of?
Literally
She went
nothing
from
more.
being one of our most hated enemies
That's
to
all we
being a
want.
fellow protector of the planet. Crazy how things
Kidding.
change, huh?
But still, it's definitely a nice little benefit.
This is that strange-looking android who attacked the city with Dr. Giroux.
Android 19 was Dr. Giroux's most obedient creation. Bet he wished he designed all of them to be like that.
I bet an army full of 19s would be a pain to defeat.
That would actually be a terrifying sight. An army of 19s would be terrible. I don't want this little fucker chasing me. Are you kidding me? No. He is very obedient, though. He is the most obedient to ever exist from Jerome. Too bad he got done dirty by Vegeta, turned him into freaking scrap metal. And the man who created it all.
The androids and Cell were created by this mad scientist. Ugh, what a waste of intelligence.
I wonder if he can make time travel.
Researcher for the Red Ribbon Army, right?
Yep.
Maybe if you give him the time.
Crushed the Red Ribbon Army when he was a kid. And
A
since
team.
then, their remnants have carried a grudge against him.
Yeah, big grudge. Real big grudge. Not even just Jaro, too. Other people. Just like something that I also like about Dragon Ball 2. Just the consequences from the old show just showing themselves to light in Z. I love that. I really do. We mainly get to see it with Jaro, but still. That's one of the main reasons why I love the Android and Cell Saga is because all of it is happening due to the inclusion of the Red Ribbon Saga, which only happens in Dragon Ball. So if you only watch Z, you won't know who this is.
He revived Majin Buu, endangering the whole planet. He can also use his magic to control the minds of people with evil in their heart.
Think you could cast a spell that could rehabilitate delinquents?
That's one way to use your magic.
It's one way to use it. Would it be ethical? I don't know. But hey, Babidi, he's another person that isn't. I don't even know. Like, he's like the one thing about the story where it's like, okay, well, he has no grudge against Goku, right? And the reason why he's here and we're dealing with him isn't really because of Goku. So like, what made Babidi even want to come to Earth in the first place? I guess just hearing that Cell died, maybe, but how would he even hear about Cell and just know who Cell is? I feel like Babidi has to know who Cell is, because if he didn't know who Cell is, why would he come to Earth seeking for great power, right? There must have been some surge of energy that he noticed on Earth because of Cell and his fight with Gohan that made him come to Earth and create this whole year-long plan of reviving Majin Buu. I would love to see a side story, maybe Daima. That would be cool. Daima, you can put us in the mind of Babidi a little bit, like where he was during his headspace at this time, but yeah. I got no issues with Babidi as a character, honestly. And I do love the pun of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Like, this Babidi is just continuing Bibbidi's work. I don't know if he's the actual son of Bibbidi or if he's just a reincarnation of Bibbidi. So if it's just Bibbidi, but he put himself in like a new body, you know, that he reproduced through some sort of method. I kind of like it if it's more that way, because then that's a bit more messed up. Like, he took over the mind of his child's body and is just continuing his endeavors of reviving Majin Buu and bringing the pure chaos and natural disaster that Buu is into the universe. But yeah, I like Babidi. Wish you could have seen more of Bibbidi too.
I hear this guy is the king of the demon realm or something.
You guys met him. All three of you guys have met him.
Definitely screams evil to me.
Why would such an important figure kneel to someone like Babidi? It makes no sense.
It was Babidi's magic that made him into a serpent. Eventually, Boo transformed him into a cookie and gobbled him up.
It must be harsh for the demon world now that they've got no king. Wonder if he had any family.
This was the first time that we've actually like seen someone die too, from Majin Buu's candy ability. Like, he does it a little bit too when he's Super Buu, but like this is like the first time with Majin Buu, Fat Buu, that we see him actually kill someone with it, and it's just by turning Deborah into a cookie. But yeah, Deborah actually meets all three of these girls, all three of these ladies, even though I think it is filler, but still. He meets Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl in the afterlife. Maybe even heaven, for whatever reason. Saying that maybe the King of Hell wasn't a bad guy. No, it was because, I remember now, King Yama sent Deborah to heaven because he knew he would enjoy hell so much since, you know, he's the King of Hell. So he was like, what would be like the biggest joke on this guy if I just sent him to heaven instead, and he just hates it there. But I think he actually sends Deborah to heaven and he loves it there. And I think it's because he meets these three girls and he was actually, for some reason, he just had a whole change of heart towards Gohan and actually really respected and appreciated the warrior that Gohan was. And for being such a kind kid too. So yeah, it's interesting to see that filler and just the way they do Deborah and that. It's just completely out of character for him, at least for what we expected of him. But that's kind of Toriyama's comedy too, a little bit. Like, I can see Toriyama doing that, so it's canon to me. All that stuff happening, it's canon to me. in my heart. Otter.
Frieza's cannon fodder.
Yeah, they
I
even
don't
said
know
it
how
too.
Someone so horrible can have so many followers.
They're well equipped and well organized. Even got a proper uniform.
I wonder if working for Frieza has good health benefits.
It actually does. Universe confirms that. Thank you for asking that question, Venom. And as for one of Frieza's financial representative and healthcare representative, I can definitely assure you that we do offer good benefits here in the Frieza Force.
Who's this?
He kind of reminds me of Vegeta and Goku, but
Yeah, I get that. He gives me the strangest feeling.
You think so? Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess I see it.
He's just a young boy that likes lavender, okay? Calm down.
Now this looks like a strong fighter.
does that mean he's also a Saiyan?
That must be why he has such a similar vibe
I wonder if
to
they can tell
Goku
if he's
and the
Super Saiyan in
others.
this. They probably can, since the mind control. If the mind control was off, though, that little headband, they would probably be like, delinquent. Oh, well, they'll probably say for this one.
Those muscles are ridiculous in size. He certainly looks stronger.
So, is this different from a regular Super Saiyan form?
Either way, he looks dangerous.
This is the devil. I like calm, timid Broly, and then I like Broly Super Saiyan where he's kind of just like about to snap and reach that break into just, well, full-on legendary Super Saiyan. This one definitely has little screen time, Broly Z Super Saiyan. Very little screen time, but happy he exists, and I'm happy it made it to the game. I hope there's an alternate skin. I don't know if there's an alternate skin for him yet, where you can have him without the mind control. There should be, but I haven't seen it yet. But yeah. I like Z Broly. I'm happy he made it. He's integral to just the hype of Dragon Ball in general, which, I mean, whether that's for good or for worse, that's up to you. But to me, I like it. I like it a lot. I like Z Broly, and I respect him.
This Broly guy supposedly grew up in the wild. They say he's so strong that even Goku couldn't beat him on his own.
He worked for the Frieza Force for a little while. I hope he's not another bad guy to deal with.
He was actually being used by his father and is rather innocent at heart. The way he talks is kind of adorable, in its own way.
It's adorable, and it's, oh, well, hey, Sheila, I thought it was adorable. That's why she likes him, right? And then, yeah, this is our Broly, the Broly that, we're watching grow up today. And I like this Broly a lot, too. I love his outfit. I love his physique, his design. Everything is just great. It's a really great redesign and a great change for Broly, honestly. Even his base, he just looks so cool. He looks like the definition of what a Saiyan should be. Like, Saiyans are, like, more tan. That's why with GT Kid Goku, he's, like, very more dark skin and tan, because that's, like, those are Saiyan's natural skin colors. Even in, like, some of, like, the colored manga panels for Z, you see, like, a lot of characters are more, like, darker than they actually look like compared to the anime. And that's because of the shading, most likely. But Saiyans in general, specifically Saiyans, are shaded a lot darker in certain scenes and panels. And that's because they're seen as, like, fighters, you know what I mean? Like, they're fighters, they're constantly outside in the sun, they're constantly doing something, so, yeah. It would make sense why they have a tan, especially with Broly. The reason why he has his tan is because he grew up on that harsh planet where all he could eat and drink was bug juice, and his only best friend was a green blanket, so, yeah. This is a Broly Super Saiyan.
Broly's become a delinquent too. Must be his dad's fault that he took a bad turn.
Actually,
I heard
Frieza's.
that Broly's father, Paragus, put an electric collar on him to make him obey his commands.
How awful to do that to your own child.
Yeah, you guys didn't bring the collar and mind control and for Z Broly, but hey, it's okay. You guys didn't know, even though he's wearing it in this Broly. Is he even wearing his, but... Yo, that should be a skin in the game. Broly with the collar? What the heck? Why don't we have that? We should definitely have that. And then this is the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Well, I guess in this game, Broly full power.
And his muscles are bulging. He looks like he's about to explode or something.
Oh,
In
pause.
this state,
Pause,
you lose
Chi-Chi.
your sense of self, apparently. That's part of why Broly's training with Vegeta and Goku under Beerus.
Wow.
Yeah, we gotta tame
Maybe
that
he'll come
power.
visit Earth sometime.
It's two maximum. Garlic Jr. I wonder if they're gonna bring up that he's actually one of the few characters to obtain immortality in the Dragon Ball universe.
He wished for immortality and
Okay,
wanted
we
to
are.
overrun the Earth with his demon legion. He's like a competent version of Pilaf.
If he's gained
That's a good way to put it.
eternal life,
That's a very good way to put
then
it. He
that
even
means
looks like
he's still
Pilaf.
alive out there somewhere.
If he ever shows his face again, Goku and Gohan will knock him out.
Well, he's alive in the dead zone, and the dead zone is just a black and red vortex of death. So he's still alive, but he's in constant pain. In constant pain. I bet right now, in this very moment, Garlic Jr. is regretting the hell out of his wish. To this day, he's still in the dead zone, trapped. Hopefully he still has his therapist with him. That's also interesting too, because they said he wanted to like bring and reign an army of demons. That means Garlic Jr. is a demon, which means most likely maybe Pilaf's a demon too, honestly. Just someone from the demon world. It would make sense why he would have that much knowledge about King Piccolo in the first place. That's kind of cool. It's interesting too.
Ugh, this quack was a real problem.
This
He
quack.
wanted to implant his brain in Goku's body.
Ew.
And your body
That's
too, Bulma.
disgusting.
Okay,
So
no,
glad
not your
Goku
body,
managed
but
to dodge that
definitely
bullet.
Goku. He wanted the
was a
world's strongest
scientist
body,
when he was alive, right?
which was Goku.
If he wasn't evil, I bet you two would have a lot in common, Bulma.
Maybe not.
Dude, they could have cured
Wouldn't
cancer
wanna
with
know
each
what's
other.
inside that brain.
Imagine Weelo, Bulma, and Dr. Gero all in the same room. Dude, they could cure every illness and disease known to mankind. Like they could cure anything in the world and probably create anything in the world if they were all working together. Along with briefs too, like Bulma's dad. Oh my god, anything would be possible. Wonder if Weelo also had a hot wife like Gero too. Usually all the smart guys in Dragon Ball have hot wives. Briefs, Jero's married to Android 21. Goku Block?
This Saiyan bully looks just like Goku, but they're not even remotely related to each other.
So he's like the shadow to Goku? Well, don't confuse them and accidentally give this creep a hug.
He may look like Goku
Yeah, he'll
on the
literally
outside,
blast you in the
but
back
he's
if you hug
rotten
him.
to the core on the inside.
Everyone's just shit talking Turles. Yeah, well deserved though. His model here looks kind of interesting. Like he looks exactly like Goku, but his hair is a bit more like bedheady. Like it's more wild, which I like a lot, honestly. But yeah, you see, Turles is also like another tan Saiyan. Like he's very tan. It's because the Saiyans are brutes. They just go out all day conquering and destroying shit. So it makes sense why they would always have a tan on. The Slug Man, Lord Slug.
He's a Namekian like Piccolo, but his evil heart makes him very uncommon from the rest of his kind.
He wanted to use the Dragon Balls to gain eternal youth. Can't say I haven't thought of the same thing.
Hey, come on now.
The Slug is kind of like Garlic Jr. in a way. He wanted his youth back instead of immortality. He should have wished for immortality because then he probably would have won. But he wanted his youth back because when he was at his youth, he was at his strongest. So, yeah. He felt like a young, strapping lad beating his meat fiercely for the first time. One thing about Slug too is that apparently, and I believe I'm correct on this, I don't think this is me fanficting stuff, but apparently, you know how Kami separated the evil version of himself from Piccolo to create Piccolo? So like he separated from his evil self, and which created Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo. Slug is the exact same scenario and situation, but with Guru. So with the Namekian Guru on planet Namek, the king of Namek, I think this is his evil half. Like Slug is the evil half of Guru. Just as the same with Kami and Piccolo, which I think is really cool. Like this is like just another side of Guru that we never got to see. So maybe even he himself has the more mystical powers to him. Well, he's the more warrior side, since I think Namekians are like split up by like the magicians, the people that can make Dragon Balls that are well versed in magic, and then the warrior clan, the demon clan, right, which is like the clan that can, I don't think they're called the demon clan, but just the warrior clan, where they focus more on honing their fighting skills. So that's what Slug is. But yeah, I guess at his youth here, this is Slug at his youth. Like, this isn't the Slug that we're even introduced into the movie. The Slug that we're introduced into the movie, he's a lot more older, he's got missing teeth, he looks like a Studio Ghibli old person. But yeah, this is Slug at his youth. And then this is Giant Slug. Bringing it back,
That
old
Slug
school
in his
days.
giant form. All this did was amplify his weakness to high-pitched noises.
That's really all it did. You're so right, Bulma.
Too, right?
My mischievous side wants to whistle in his vicinity.
Or I think it was Chi-Chi who said that? Yeah, it was Chi-Chi who said
Slug
that,
in his
yeah.
Giant form. All
Literally,
this
the
did
way
was
that Slug
amplify his
loses
weakness
is
to
just
high-pitched
by
noises.
listening to
Piccolo hates
Gohan
those
whistle.
kinds of noises too, right?
My
Yeah, Piccolo hates
mischievous
whistling
side
as well.
wants to whistle in his
It's just a weakness in
vicinity.
the Namekians. It's a pretty big weakness too, if you know it. Which makes me think, so since Cell, the Piccolo DNA in him is so important to like what makes Cell Cell, I wonder if whistling affects him too. Maybe not since he's like perfect, but still. Something interesting to think about, right?
Frieza's older brother looks a lot like him. Their voices are quite distinct, though.
Yet another jerk who's got a bone to pick with Goku.
I wonder if Frieza is so insecure about being short because his brother is so much taller than him.
He's not that much taller, maybe like a couple inches, right? Like Frieza's probably like 5'7" and Cooler's probably like 5'9". He's Frieza's Cooler's brother.
This is what Cooler looks like when he gets serious. He's all spiky and wears a face mask.
Gotta be tough to breathe in that mask.
Probably ventilated.
I would hope it's ventilated, Fidel. But one thing I'm curious, so would this technically be like 5th form? Is this like the 5th and the true final form for the Frieza race? Because if it is, then whoa. It is tough. Cooler looks like a legendary Pokemon here. Seriously, like, I love this form so much. I think it's so cool. Like, I love the star head shape. I love the mask. The mask, like, completes this transformation. But even without the mask, it's still really cool. Because then it makes, like, his eyes pop out. Like, well, the mask actually makes his eyes pop out a lot more, but just, like, the whole face and everything, too, without the mask is just super tough as well, too. And then Metal Cooler. This Cooler I'm not the biggest fan of. He's nothing to write home about. But yo, in this game, he looks really, really good. Like, especially like when you're in Sparking and if you want to fight and like you get his outro, like he just looks so dazzling with all like, his aura has like a little like twinkle to it. It's because of the Big Getty Star, the Big Spaghetti Star. Sorry for the mistranslation there, but yeah. Thanks to the Big Spaghetti Star, he is just cold. Colder.
This is one of a million robots Cooler made when he was at Death's door. Just when it seemed like he was done with. What a sore loser.
Oh, there was no end to them. I don't know what kind of technology they were crafted from, but I wouldn't want it to fall into the wrong hands.
Frieza's family's bad news, no matter what form they take.
I wonder, like, what could you do with the technology of the Big Spaghetti Star, though? Because, like, what even is it? Like, it's almost like, I don't know if you guys have watched X-Men, but there's this one X-Men episode with this one villain. He would basically control everything that was, like, technology. Just to put it plain and simple. Everything that was technology was under his control, and he could use that to control people and, like, their minds and just the way they were influenced. But yeah, that's basically what this is. He uses technology to control people. He can control living things. He can control matter to a certain degree. It's actually like a cool concept, like the Big Getty Star, because it's like, think of it as like living matter. Like, you know, like the Ben 10 alien upgrade. That's what the Big Getty Star is. It's basically upgrade. It can take over anything that has AI in it, AI intelligence, that's electrical and technological. And it can take over that and put its own will over it. It can impede its own will over it. So it's interesting because it, for some reason, fused with Cooler just out of nowhere. Just slapped on his head, I guess, when he was floating in space after dying. even though he somehow still survived. I guess after Cooler survived getting hit by the sun, all that was left with him was just a floating head. And yeah, he was able to manage with just that, thanks to the big spaghetti star.
This is another one of the androids that Dr. Gero made. Looks like its sole purpose is to kill Goku.
That old quack never quits, does he? I wish he'd forget about Goku and go do something else with his life.
You're right. His research could have been put to far better use.
I love that they just keep bringing up how Dr. Gero as a good guy could have just helped the world so much instead of harm it. Like, dude, it's so true. If Gero was a good guy, his science could change the everyday life of all citizens of the Dragon Ball Z universe. But he chose the path that he wanted, I guess, thanks to Goku. But yeah, Android 13, cool android. Love the design. I love the outfit, and I love the trucker hat. I love the trucker hat, and he has a cool accent as well too.
This was when Android 13 absorbed parts from 14 and 15. Goku crushed him with the power of a spirit bomb.
I was worried.
This version of 13 was beating ass, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Thank goodness he was able to get back to his
He was pulling all types of wrestling moves on the Z Fighter.
Vegeta and Piccolo kind of just didn't come home for
Punching
a while.
Goku while he was flying in midair.
Oh, don't ask.
Wait, what was that last part that Bulma said?
This was when Android 13 absorbed parts from 14 and
She said
15.
something interesting there for a
Goku
second.
crushed him with the power of a spirit bomb.
I was worried sick when Gohan got put in the hospital. Thank goodness he was able to get back to his studies.
After that, Vegeta and Piccolo kind of just didn't come home for a while. At least not till the fish jumped.
Not till the fish jumped. That's so funny. Yeah, they were waiting for that fish to jump, bro. They were like, dang, where'd that damn fish at? Oh, I love Dragon Ball. Yeah, but I like this transformation. I don't hate it. I don't think it's that cool. His shoulders are a bit too big. He looks a bit too rash as well, too. Not a big fan of the eyes or the hair color. I think maybe with the white hair, honestly, they could have just kept it with the white hair if they're going to make it spiky. Honestly, I can still see the transformation working with the long hair still, like the long silver. I could still see him rocking it. I think it's just the blue for me. It's just like, why is he so blue? And like, it looks like he's wearing armor, but it's like a part of his skin. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. This, good design. This, eh. Arrgh, it's Bojack, the Pirate King. Daigo, yo.
This is a bad guy who came to take over Earth. He and his gang came to interrupt a tournament.
Everyone ended up in the hospital after defeating Bojack. Oh, I was so worried.
Wait, there was a newspaper article saying my dad defeated him.
Are you
Did
serious?
you take all the credit
You
again?
took the clout for Bojack? I didn't even know that. Oh my god. Hercule, you menace. But I mean, who else would, right? I mean, it would have to be Hercule. I'm surprised people, I guess, like, okay, well, no. I guess with all the commotions they were doing, yeah, I guess people would realize and notice Bojack and his existence, but still, I feel like they kind of, like, took care of Bojack so fast that, like, the world really kind of forgot about Bojack pretty, just like that, in a snap, in a flash. But, yeah, this is Bojack the Pirate King. He was, a space pirate, and he would go around pillaging and plundering planets. Probably just killing people and also adding them to his crew. So much to the point where he got so notorious that they had to lock him up in King Kai's planet for only God knows why, but yeah. This is him at full power.
This is Bojack after he powered up and transformed his look. He changed his hair and his skin.
Gohan was the one who took him down, right? People who risk their lives to protect others are the coolest.
Goku left it to
He did
the
it in
kids
Goku's gi
again.
too.
Oh, wait, was he dead at the time?
Well, okay, well, it's a bit, we don't really know if he was dead at the time or not. It's not, I mean, okay, he was dead at the time, we know he was, but I mean, he came back to life. He came back to life to save his son, which people that call Goku a bad dad, yo, he came back to life to save his son. Sure, it's not canon, but it's a good representation of his character. That's something he would do. Now, how he did it, that's up for debate. But he did it, and it was pretty badass. One thing that I like about GT Goku, or just Goku as a character too, but specifically at the end of GT, you guys know how like the ending of GT is a bit almost eerie in a way, where like it's kind of hard to tell what's going on in that final episode. Like it's a bit, I don't know what like the right word is for it, but it's a bit oblique. It's a bit oblique, I guess. That's kind of a good term to use, because Goku is just teleporting from one place to another, saying his goodbyes, and everyone's noticing something about Goku that we, the audience, aren't. They're saying like, wait, hold on, why are you, wait, don't tell me you're, and one theory as to why it's like that is because apparently in GT, during the Super 17 saga, nevertheless too, the reason why all those villains were able to come from hell to the real world was because there was an abundance of negative energy in the living world. So in Dragon Ball, quick side tangent, there's positive energy and negative energy. That's just a thing in Dragon Ball that does exist. Now, we don't know too much about positive and negative energy, but we know that they can kind of change and shape the reality of our world when there's an overabundance of one or the other. So with the Dragon Balls, in GT, there was way too much negative energy, and because of that, you know, that's what started off the whole Grand Tour adventure, whatever. But in the Super 17 saga, everyone in Hell was able to come to Earth because of that overabundance of negative energy. Except for Frieza and Cell, because they wanted to stay back and fight Goku, get their comeuppance. But it stated a little bit that all the villains were able to come back due to that, and it lingered. That same negative energy, it still lingered. That's what caused the Shadow Dragons to appear, and that's what created the Shadow Dragon arc, correct? So, at the end of the Shadow Dragon arc, where Goku comes back from that huge crater that he tanked from the minus energy ball, I believe, of Omega Shenron, he comes back floating like an angel, almost as if he's dead, with his hands in the air, ready to charge up a spirit bomb. Now, some fans speculate that when Goku was hit by the minus energy ball and was rising up charging a spirit bomb in that crater, he was dead. He was an angel at that specific point in time. He was rising up like an angel. And when he's saying his goodbyes to Krillin, Vegeta, Piccolo, everyone, that's him basically as a ghost. That's Ghost Goku. Yeah. It's really interesting to think about, honestly. Because there's so much negative energy in the world, Goku's still able to kind of like retain his physical bodies, kind of like how the villains did, even after death. Because apparently that's just like a side effect from too much negative energy in the world. Like the line from limbo, from like the living to the dead, is just distorted. It's distorted. So yeah, it's really cool. I hope that's actually like canon and true, because I really like that idea that that's the main reason why Goku and the ending of GT is the way it is, and why like Goku is so like, you know, confusing at the end of GT. Not confusing, but he's like more like confidential about saying like what he is right now, and if he's even alive or not, you know, like what he's going to do, like what's the plan moving forward now. Like, yeah, I think it's cool. Just Goku himself as a character, he really is like an angel. That's the best way to describe Goku. He's an angel. So the fact that he's just a person who's able to cross between the living and the dead, like it makes sense for Goku because of his character and the type of person that he is. So yeah, that's why I kind of like that whole idea of Goku being able to like cross the boundary from living and dead and punching Bojack in the face. Plus, like, remember, like, King Kai is dead. I guess he was revived in Super. I don't really know during when and where he was revived at, but, like, Goku was able to just go to King Kai's planet and Earth seamlessly, like it's nothing, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's just also, like, another part due to the fact that he's... The line between life and death with Goku is just very blurred. It's very blurred for Goku. He kind of ascends that, which is why he's a candidate to be an angel like Whis, in the eyes of people like the Grand Priest and even Zeno himself. I mean, shit, look at Zeno. In this game, when you go to Zeno's room to take on his missions and stuff and talk to him, he always says that Goku You always make me smile. It's just the type of person Goku is. It's who he is. It's his character. He's the only person that probably deserves to be able to cross that boundary between life and death because he's an angel. He's truly an angel. Even beyond that, in a certain way. I don't know. Goku's almost like a lifestyle. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, when Goku's around, you just know everything's gonna be alright, you feel me? Janemba!
Aw, this chubby little guy reminds me of Boo.
He is a lot like Boo.
He's not all that smart since he can only say his name over and over. But I heard he got really sad when Goku said mean things to him.
He has
Goku
feelings.
Really can be an idiot sometimes.
He does have feelings. This is Janemba. We all know Janemba. He was basically created because some janitor for King Yemma accidentally fell into a weird pile of negative energy. So there's the thing with negative energy. It actually comes back for Janemba's backstory. He fell into negative energy and absorbed all the negative energy and turned into what this amalgamation of whatever this thing is. But yeah. Yeah, I actually like that too, that Janemba, his whole backstory is from the whole negative energy plot from Dragon Ball. Like, it's a real thing, like negative and positive energy. It's a real thing in the Dragon Ball world. It's something that I wish they kind of explore on more. Maybe they will in Super, or even Daima. Even Daima, maybe they can say something about it there, but yeah. And then this is the Janemba that we all love right here. Him. This is him.
Janemba transformed after Goku had.
What do they call him in Powerpuff Girls? Him or
I don't think
he?
I've ever seen two forms of the same person so radically different.
He's gonna catch a
Completely
cold with his
different.
midriff exposed like
Huge
that.
overhaul in his design, man. Huge overhaul in his design. What was the last thing that she said?
This was when Janemba transformed after Goku had him against the ropes.
I don't think I've ever seen two forms of the same person so radically different.
He's gonna catch a cold with his midriff exposed like that.
With his midriff exposed like that? Oh my god, yeah. He's a delinquent. Tapion. We all remember this guy, right?
Intimidating, but I remember hearing that he was an ancient hero that sealed away a giant monster or something.
He gave Trunks his sword as a gift. It's become his most treasured possession, a keepsake of their time together.
Think he's been doing well since then?
He went back 1,000 years into the past using our time machine. I hope we see him again someday.
Now, if I'm correct with Tapion's backstory, so he was basically a part of society where they are actually aware of the knowledge of Majins and how they're created. I don't know if they call them Majins in his society or they just call them Jins. I think they call them Jins there. But it's a bit similar to Majins as well too, from what I've heard. And there's basically, like, think of them as like the terrorists of his society. The Bobbities of his society, basically. Just evil magicians. They wanted to create a being like Majin Buu, so they created using like evil energy. Like kind of like the way that Majin Buu's created is through evil energy and I think like devil magic. So yeah, they wanted to create something like Buu, and they created a Rinnegan.
A big old bug that can turn into smoke and swallow you whole. Ah!
This thing was sealed inside Tapion's body. Goku defeated him, but the city took a toll. It was a real mess.
Vegeta was pissed when his house was destroyed.
Damn, they destroyed Vegeta's house during that fight? That's crazy. All I remember Vegeta's doing is just protecting that office building. But dang, maybe that's why I wanted to protect that building so bad, because he's like, man, I just lost my home, ain't gonna let no one experience the pain I just felt now. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting. Yeah, this is Rinnegan. I don't know. I don't hate his design. I think they created Rinnegan fully believing that this would be like the final movie for Dragon Ball Z. So they wanted the final movie to be like a dragon type villain and die from a dragon type move called the Dragon Fist. I'm pretty sure Rinnegan is basically like the last movie villain. His movie's the last one, like it's the conclusion of all movies. And I mean, it's a pretty good movie. It's not bad. It's a lot better compared to a lot of other Z movies. And I mean, we also see how Trunks get his sword from Tapion. Yeah, Trunks' sword is from Tapion. I don't know how I mean, we know Kid Trunks' sword is from Tapion. I don't know if Future Trunks' sword is from Tapion as well too, or if it's just a different sword. Maybe it's still related to Tapion, but he just got it from different methods. But yeah, whatever. That's where we fans come in and make our own little fan theories and have fun, so who cares? Making it in the custom battle how freaking Trunks got his sword, who cares? You can do that. Using the models of Kid Trunks and Future Trunks, you can do that. Go ahead. You make the story. You make the freaking story, alright?
Vegeta? I mean, he kinda looks like him.
I'm not gonna lie, he's kinda scary.
This is by far the best form to baby Vegeta for me. I think it's really cool. I think it's sick. I love the white hair. I love the lines coming from his forehead to his eyebrows and on the chin. He just looks so tough to me. I don't know, he just looks like more of a punk Vegeta. And like he just rocks the leather way better than way better than base Vegeta in GT. He's just cool. He's just really cool to me. I love this design. I think it's really cool. The next design, not my favorite. I don't like the shoulder pads, but yeah.
Who the heck is this baby guy anyway?
Beats the heck out of me.
He doesn't look human, that's for sure.
Yeah, this bit, I mean, honestly, in Sparking Zero though, it did this transformation justice. It probably looks like the best it's ever been. But still, I'm just not a fan of the shoulder pads. They're way too long and it's just obnoxious. He just looks like he's trying too hard to be a punk in that, honestly. Then Super Baby 2. Basically just Super Saiyan 2 Baby Vegeta.
This baby guy doesn't stay in the same form for long, huh?
Transformed again already? Daring today, aren't we?
At this point, I can't even tell how strong he is.
This baby is pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. This is a pretty strong character. This guy was able to like create his own empire. He was able to basically destroy Earth. He did a lot. So this guy was a menace to society for sure. He made it so that everyone had to evacuate from Earth to a different Earth, to his Earth that he created. He created Earth 2, where it was just gonna be him and all the people he infected, and they were just gonna be the whole new Tuffle race, basically. But yeah, this baby definitely the most screen time out of all the babies. He's the reason why Super Saiyan 4 exists, which is pretty cool. But as a villain, I wouldn't say he's like the coolest looking design. It's okay. I like the white hair definitely still. He still has the lines. They're a bit more exaggerated for sure in this form, but still cool nevertheless. I like that he's got the Saiyan tan now. So it's like the more he transforms as a Saiyan, the more Saiyan he becomes. He becomes the thing that he despises the most when he powers up in that body, and I kind of like that. And then this is the ultimate accumulation of everything that he hates. Just Saiyan Monkey. When they see a full moon, they just go berserk and terrorize everybody and everything they see in sight. So this is literally Baby as the thing that he hates the most right now. Which is kind of like funny for his character since he needs this power to do the things he's doing, but at the same time he hates this power because it's caused him so much turmoil and trauma in his life that he just can't stand Saiyans. But still, you're becoming what you hate. You get what you give.
He turned into a great ape!
Does that mean he's also a Saiyan?
Well, if he took over Baby's, if he took over Vegeta's body, of course he's a Saiyan. Come on, guys. I keep confusing Baby for Vegeta for some reason. Like they're one and the same. The Baby Vegeta really is just his own character. He's just Baby Vegeta. Sin Shenron.
Well, what the? This guy is the scariest looking dragon I've ever seen.
Something
He
about
does look
those
pretty menacing
eyes
here.
of his. I feel like Goku and the others would struggle against him as an enemy.
You're right. He feels more powerful than anyone they've ever faced.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was like the pinnacle of Dragon Ball Z when it came to villains. Which I mean, as a final villain, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I mean, he's still cool looking. I don't think his design is terrible. I think there's like definitely something cool to it. I like the blue stomach that he has. So like he's got the blue interior and the white exterior going on, and the blue and white contrast each other very well. But yeah, as a final villain for a series, little bit of a letdown, just a little bit.
fucking transformed!
The Dragon Balls have become a part of it. Are they what caused this?
Who can say? Oh, those spikes on his back make me cringe in fear.
He seems even more powerful than before.
Trust me, you don't want to be stabbed by those spikes. Vegeta knows from experience, it freaking hurts. And yeah, Omega Shenron's final form. I mean, this is a solid transformation. I don't have no complaints, not much to say about this one, honestly. He's got all the Dragon Balls on his chest, which is really cool. They did the transformation real good justice in this game. It looks great. Just like everything else about this game. But yeah, I like the Dragon Balls. I like that when he uses the minus energy ball, the one in the center is the only one that doesn't glow because that's his core, that's his Dragon Ball. The rest are just from others that he stole from the other dragons. So I really think that's cool too. But yeah, this is the final villain for GT. And for when GT was airing at the time for Dragon Ball as a series. And it's okay. He's kind of like Sin Shenron, just a bit more buff and it's got the spikes on the back. Bigger spikes on the back. But yeah, I think I like Omega Shenron's design. I like it. I think it's pretty tough. Spopovich, what do you got to say about this one, Vidal?
I swear, there's so many muscle-bound fighters that just so happen to be bald.
Ugh, this guy was such a creep.
Yeah, he was a creep.
Gohan once told me that having shorter hair makes it harder for the opponent to grab you.
I guess
He still grabbed Vidal by the head and punched her ass, though.
Idea, huh?
Okay, I thought Vidal would definitely say more about that ass beating, but I don't blame her for wanting to relive that experience. Hey, he made it to the game instead of Pui Pui and Yakon, so I guess that goes for something. He even made it to the game instead of his brother. I forgot his brother's name. No one even knows his name, honestly. It's just Spopovich that we know. Beerus, our favorite little cat.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw Vegeta groveling in front of anyone. But a god of destruction would do it.
Yet with no hesitation, you had the guts to slap him right across the face.
Well, yeah. He ruined my party after all.
So intense. I can't believe all that happened over some pudding.
Yeah, it was pretty petty, Beerus. Super petty of you. But hey, we love you nevertheless. Beerus is my favorite introduction for Super, even though he was technically introduced in Z. He's my favorite introduction to Super and Z moving forward. It was just, Beerus is a great character. Everything that he represents is great. Everything that he brings to the table is great. It's just, delicious, feed me more. I love it. I love Beerus. I love his character. I love his relationship with Whis and the Z Fighters. I love this freaking cat. Best cat to ever grace the drawing boards. Fun fact too about Beerus. Beerus was named and designed after Toriyama's cat, who was a naked cat. And the reason why they made him a god of destruction, like the pinnacle of Dragon Ball, the strongest thing at that point of time when that movie came out, is because apparently Toriyama's cat was always get sick, I think. At least I think like the cat would get sick a lot and just overcome almost every sickness it ever came through, like nothing happened. So Toriyama just thought the cat was super resilient. So he was like, you know what if I just made a character like that in Dragon Ball? And I love it. I truly do love it. I love Beerus. He's just one of the coolest characters of Dragon Ball to me. He's one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, in the entirety of Dragon Ball, and I just love this freaking cat. I freaking love this cat, dude. I wish I had a pet Beerus. Next time I get a cat, I'm naming him Beerus.
Whis is an angel who works as Beerus' attendant and teacher. He's also my foodie buddy.
Oh, that Whis. He's always transporting Goku somewhere, again and again.
Aw, I'm jealous. I want a foodie buddy. Lisa's kind and has a soft demeanor, but he can also be pretty strict.
You know, with Whis, I like Whis and Bulma's relationship a lot. I think it's really sweet. Just, you know, her even calling him his food buddy and everything like that. But, I feel like they should have added Whis to this. I feel like he should join in on the girl talk. I feel like he would have a lot to say about all this. And just give us some more insight on, like, some of the aliens that we don't even know in Z, you know, that, at least that we know, but, like, don't know much about their backstory. He could probably give us some insight on that. But yeah, maybe Sparking Zero too. Add Whis to the group chat. Please, I would love that. I think that would be really cool.
Trunks came from the distant future to our era to fight this guy.
Why did he have to go and steal Goku's body?
Maybe it's just because he wanted to be as strong as a Saiyan. Who knows? These bad guys are just jerks.
I know, right? I mean, it's a simple reason, but I get it. Though I question why he didn't take Vegeta's body instead.
Well, I mean, because Baby already did it, honestly. But, I mean, at the same time, I mean, Zamasu just wanted the strongest being in the universe, which in his eyes was Goku, since Goku was able to kick his ass. Which is already like a feat that Zamasu didn't think would be possible. But then also hearing stories about this Saiyan warrior who's kind of seen as the strongest warrior on the universe, that would definitely make me want to take his body too. Well, okay, pause, first of all. Maybe not take his body. I don't know why the whole body snatching idea really came from Zamasu. I guess like that's the only way he thought he could fulfill his dreams and goals and ideals. And his ideals, just like Baby Vegeta, is by taking a Saiyan's body, because that's the only way he can exert that type of energy and make his dreams come true. But yeah, I mean, Goku Black is a cool character. Goku Black is like my coolest variation of all the Zamasus. I like him more than Merged Zamasu. I like him more than Zamasu. I like him more than Disfigured Zamasu. I even like this version more than Goku Rose, if I'm being honest with you. Especially in the game too. Like, I like the black aura. I think the pink aura looks cool, but it's a bit too action figure-y, fanfic-y for me. But the pure black aura, it's just so cold and menacing. Like, it just screams darkness, you know what I mean? And I love it. I love the amount of aura that this specific character exerts and how he exerts it too. It's very cold and menacing. Like, this character and this character almost feel like two different characters. This is technically filler. This is only canon to the anime. In the manga, we don't get Goku Black Rose. It's just Goku Black regular Super Saiyan, which I personally think is a little tiny bit cooler in some aspects. But I will admit, the Rose is a lot just cooler in general, especially like for fans like of Dragon Ball like me. Like, yeah, give us another color of hair. We love it. We freaking love it. As much as we say that we hate and we're annoyed by it, we eat that shit up. Okay? Like how Majin Buu eats up candy. But still, regardless, good transformation. I like Rose. Happy Rose is in the game and not regular Super Saiyan. I feel like that would have been just boring. Even though I did say that I do like the idea of it just being regular Super Saiyan a little bit more, just because it makes sense, especially if you still got to keep that black aura with it too. Or maybe it's like a golden black type of aura, who knows? Like, I don't know, something like that could have been tough, man. Like a yellow black aura. Black and yellow go hand in hand, so could have been something cool to see. And what do they have to say about Rose?
This pink-haired villain better not do anything to tarnish my Goku's reputation looking like that.
Oh, he will.
Super Saiyan Rose, he called it. So pretentious.
He looks like Goku, but his name and manner of speaking are pretty conceited.
What a total narcissist.
Yeah, Goku Black Rose is like a little bit more like flamboyant, I would say, than just regular Goku Black for whatever reason. I guess it's because he just becomes like what Chi-Chi said, or I think Videl said it, more pretentious, since he's so cocky of his transformation. But yeah, this form of Goku, it almost feels completely different than Goku Black. It feels like Goku Black fused with Zarbon. That's what this form feels like. And then the man himself that started it all, Zamasu.
This guy is a Supreme Kai like ours, but from another universe?
Powerful as he is, he's still only training to become a Supreme Kai. Shin from our universe is a lot less intimidating.
What did the Supreme Kai actually do anyway?
That's a great question. What do they do?
So many types of gods. It's hard to keep track of them all.
There's so many different types of gods in Dragon Ball. It really is. All you need to know is that Zeno is like the peak of gods, and then I guess like the lowest of gods would be a Kai. I don't want to say a Supreme Kai, but just like a regular Kai. So like Kai's in training to become a Supreme Kai, because a Supreme Kai is just a Kai that has attained the title of Supreme. And then there's also the Grand Kai. I don't really know like the other Kai systems that much, because there's the Grand Kai, and then Elder Kai, and then King Kai. Most likely, maybe like the King Kais are like the lowest of the Kais. I could be wrong, don't hold me to that, but then it would go, I think it goes King Kais, and then Grand Kais, Elder Kai, and then Supreme Kai. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. I know the Supreme Kai is the highest of all the Kais, so like, technically speaking, Supreme Kai is higher than Elder Kai, but that's only because Elder Kai was just a Supreme Kai from the past. So he just lost his title.
This was the Potara fusion between Zamasu and the fake Goku, though there's barely any Goku you can glean from this freak.
His hairstyle is a little bit in the vein of Goku, I guess.
Yeah, but the way he speaks, and especially the way he thinks, doesn't have a lick of Goku in it.
Not a single lick. You're right about that, Chi-Chi, or Bulma. You're so right about that. Yeah, this version of Zamasu is it's very all Zamasu and like barely any Goku. It's just the hairstyle of a Saiyan. But I like it. I like the design a lot. I like that he just has like a black, like the fit turns black, kind of like how Goku's black fit is black. So it's this fit basically. It's this gi fit combined with Zamasu's gi style. So it's this color variation with this style to create this, and I like it. It suits him really well. It suits him very, very well. Then this is just him with cancer, with a tumor.
Ah! What the heck is that supposed to be?
A tumor.
So terrifying. Why is he melting?
This was the result
It's all
of his
gooey.
desperation to beat Goku and the others.
Is this what a fusion between Goku and Vegeta gone wrong would look like?
Huh?
I hope not.
Oh, I hope not. Think of the kids.
Yeah, right? I hope not too. But no, we know how a fusion could go bad. It's just either you become really fat or really skinny, so. It.
The audacity of this creep.
Okay, don't call him a creep. He's not a
Assassin who
creep.
went after Goku.
Despite being a loner, I heard that during the Tournament of Power, he used his
He's a cold-hearted
stick
killer.
to rescue his
He's a
teammates.
cold-hearted
According to
villain.
Vegeta, he's over 1,000 years old.
What? I didn't know
Much older
that.
than he looks.
Shouldn't an assassin
It's
have their
1,000 years
personal
old?
information a little more private?
That is some personalized information. Dang, why y'all DDoXing my boy like that? But that's crazy. I didn't know Hit was 1,000 years old. They must have said that in Super and I must have missed it. He's old, man. He's a very wise guy. Wow. That's interesting. Learn something new every day.
Huh? Is this another of Frieza's clan?
He looks similar, but comes from a different universe.
I don't like this guy one bit.
He seems like the type that would cheat to win.
Ugh, yeah. You freaking hit it on the nail, Vidal. You hit it on the nail. And he really does look like the type of guy, too. Like, just look at him. Look at his face. He looks like he will cheat in poker or something. I hate this guy. Screw Frost. I'm happy they only added his first or final form because I don't want to set through the rest of his forms. He's just a different, like, color variation than Frieza, too. Like, he's really nothing to, like, write home about when it comes to design. It looks okay, I guess. I mean, yeah, no, I got nothing much to say about it. He's kind of bland. Looks less good than Frieza. Like, he doesn't look that cool. If anything, I like his first form more. Here comes the King of Kings. The King himself, the GOAT himself. Base Kaba.
This is a Saiyan from Universe 6 who claims to be Vegeta's student. He's very proper and polite.
Very polite.
Really okay for him to have Vegeta as his teacher?
There's complete
I
opposites.
can't really picture him as a sensei.
He probably just wants to learn how to do Vegeta's special techniques.
They are pretty
I
cool.
would.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Vidal. They're pretty cool techniques. Shit, I don't blame Kaba.
He's become a delinquent!
Look at that. I guess
Why does she sound so mad about that? You don't even know him.
Saiyan.
Our universes have more similarities than we think.
Do you see, Chi-Chi? It's not just a your world thing. It happens to other Saiyans too. Super Saiyan 2, Kaba.
I bet you anything it's because of Vegeta's influence that he became a delinquent, right?
He looks about as prideful as his master gets.
He'd be giving in to his anger, probably convinced that it's a Saiyan's true nature. I can just picture it.
Yeah, I don't think Kaba has that mindset. If anything, Caulifla has that mindset more than Kaba. But yeah, I like Kaba and his introduction. He's just a pure-hearted Saiyan at the end of the day. Really good kid. He's like Gohan, but take away the studying.
This is a female Saiyan from Universe 6. She's a confident pug. Totally hardcore.
Pan and Bolo will be as tough as her someday.
As long as
Maybe.
they're not delinquents.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Chi-Chi, because Super Saiyan 2.
This chick was a delinquent even before she became a Super Saiyan.
She really was. She really
You're not
was.
wrong.
Yeah,
No
you're not wrong at all.
objections here.
She's a cool delinquent. She's a cool delinquent.
She looks so shy and mild-mannered. Is she a Saiyan too?
I'm pretty sure she is. Maybe not every Saiyan wants to be a fighter.
With as many ruffians as she's usually surrounded by, quiet Saiyans must be a rare breed on their planet.
I actually like Kale just due to her timid temper and her nature. I think it's really sweet, and I think it's like a nice change of pace for like a Saiyan character for Dragon Ball, especially for a girl Saiyan character for Dragon Ball, something that we've never seen before. Like, these three characters right here, I never thought we would even see. Female Saiyans, like, that's insane to me. Especially like a female Super Saiyan, I love that. I just love that idea so much. It's so cool. I'm surprised it took us this long to get it, but I'm happy it's here.
This is when she loses total control of her own power. Better to be safe and just stay out of her way.
Incredible! So this is what a female Saiyan looks like when she really lets loose.
She's gotta be overflowing with power.
I'm surprised they didn't say, reminds me of Broly. Something like that, you know what I mean? They should have said something like that. I wonder why Kill Super Saiyan Berserk is before Super Saiyan. I guess it's because she goes Super Saiyan Berserk first, and then when she learns how to control the power after feeling it for the first time, she can kind of contain it a little bit. But that's interesting that this transformation, like these are two very separate transformations, even in-game, because you can't go from Super Saiyan to Berserk Super Saiyan. You have to go from Kill Super Saiyan to Berserk. And I think even Berserk can go into this form, but you can't go from this form to this form, which is interesting. Almost implying that this form might even be stronger, even though I don't think it is. But still, it's interesting.
This is when she gets her power under control and stops going berserk. Looks like her physique balanced out a bit too, huh?
You make it sound like she went on a diet.
Even if she looks different, that doesn't mean she's any less strong.
Plenty of strong. Still plenty of strong.
When Kale and Caulifla fuse with those Patara things, they call themselves Kefla. Guess other universes name their fusions like we do.
I wonder what their name would be if they did the fusion dance instead.
Cauliflail?
Not very intimidating.
Ew, cauliflower. That sounds like a fish. I wish Vegeta and Goku fused, two in the Tournament of Powers, because just duh, would have made sense, but whatever, sure, Saiyan Pride, who cares? But I really like this. I really like this character. It's another, it kind of falls under that case again too, though, where it's like, okay, well, the fusion is like all cauliflower and like barely any kale. But I still like it nevertheless. I literally confused this character with this character so much. Like, I see Kefla as just cauliflower, and I forget that cauliflower is even a real character.
Her hair is such a blind.
I don't really like the
bright
outfit, though.
color
The
now.
outfit's kind of
And
boring.
she's always hyper all the time, too.
Yeah, she's pretty energetic.
Kappa's gonna have a tough time wrangling her.
It's because it's like cauliflower is the one that's in charge, like mindset-wise a little bit more than Kale. But it's like, she's in charge of all of Kale's power. You know what I mean? So it's like, Kale can like, she can go all out, like she doesn't have to hold back and she doesn't have to worry about her mind going crazy thanks to Cauliflower. Which is why I guess they make the perfect duo. Especially when it comes to fusing. They probably fuse better than Goku and Vegeta do when it comes to like a mindset. And getting shit done, maybe.
This saucy little delinquent is super tough.
Ooh, she called her a saucy little delinquent. Saucy.
What a hussy.
It'd be interesting to see other fighters fuse with the Patara. Imagine the incredible opponents our boys could fight against.
Like fusing Frieza and Cell?
I want to see it.
Those two together, there wouldn't be enough good guys in the universe to handle that.
Yeah, seriously, that would be the ultimate menace to society. A Frieza and Cell combo, we don't want that. We do not want that. That is the definition of oppression.
He's a warrior from Universe 11. His facial expression is so neutral, it's hard to tell what he's thinking.
He always looks kind of pissed off to me.
He comes off as cool, but it's a sense of justice that's his greatest quality.
So Jiren, I've got a love-hate relationship with this character. More hate than love, honestly. I mean, I guess I can appreciate his like inclusion into the series, but I wish it was executed a bit more properly. Like, he kind of just feels like he's out of nowhere, and he really does just feel like a brick wall that Goku and Vegeta have to overcome. And I get it, it's for pushing their limits, pushing them past their limits, pushing them to the limits, but it just feels, I don't know. It comes off as boring and plain. Listen, Jiren fans, I know you're out there. I know you're screaming. We hear you, you're heard. He's a cool character. Sorry, alright, saying cool for this character is very debatable to me. But he is strong. That's not debatable. And whether or not I respect Jiren's strength, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I doubt they'll even bring him back, honestly. So from what we just saw of him, maybe he's just like only introduced for that one-off arc in the Universe Survival Saga, then okay. You're a pretty cool wall, I guess, but if there's more to him than meets the eye, I would like to learn more about this clan that came and wiped out his family members and friends and his fellow students in training. I would like to see what made Jiren the man that he is today. So at least give me some respect for him.
This is when Jiren went all out against Goku.
Those muscles are crazy. But Goku beat him in the end, right?
He had to team up with Frieza to do it, and even then it was a draw. Taking him on alone would have been impossible.
Like, Jiren full power, I don't understand it. Like, so what is it, like, what is the full power? Is he just charged up all the way? Like, I don't get it. Like, what makes him so strong and why is he so strong? Because it's implied that this Jiren is stronger than God of Destruction Toppo. So, I mean, that's a pretty big feat, man. If Jiren is, like, stronger than a God of Destruction candidate, we got some questions to be asking here.
I've heard this guy is the leader of the Pride Troopers. Must be a tough job to organize a group as unique as that.
Jiren seems like the strongest, but I didn't realize he wasn't the leader.
A leader's performance needs to be in service of their entire team. And this guy knows how to pull that off.
You're right. Toppo's got plenty of showmanship.
I'm actually a bit surprised. I thought Jiren was the leader too. But you know, now looking back at it, I think they do state in the anime that Toppo is actually the leader. That's just how hard they sidelined this in my head, I guess. They just sidelined Toppo so hard that you forget he's the leader. But no, I actually like that he's the leader. He has like a lot of Captain Ginyu energy, you know, with the poses and everything like that. He's very youthful. He acts very youthful, almost like Guy Sensei. I like Toppo. I like him a lot. For as old as he is, he's the most youthful on the team, probably. And he's got a good spirit, too. If anything, he deserves to be a God of Destruction candidate the most.
Whoa! His aura, his body, his whole disposition has completely shifted.
He abandoned his sense of justice.
Oh, it's scary how quickly people will change themselves to achieve victory. They'll give up anything and everything to win. They're really determined.
But what does that mean, like giving up your justice to achieve this form? Did he really give it up? Because, I mean, as we see, he loses the transformation. He doesn't stay like this forever. And I mean, like, what, so he's just gonna go back to his world and not fight for justice anymore? Like, no, he's still Toppo at the end of the day. I don't really know what they mean by, like, abandon his self of justice to achieve this. Maybe temporarily, sure, but, like, what did he abandon? Like, he still fights for his friends. He's still a good guy. He's still a good guy at the end of the day. So, but as a transformation, I think it's okay. I don't really, like, I don't know. Is that like a symbol in the middle of his chest? I can't tell. Is it a symbol or is it just the lighting? I can't even freaking tell, but the aura's definitely cool. He's got like that Beerus aura a little bit, but yeah. And he looks a little bit taller, right? Am I tripping or does he look taller in that? Yeah, he's like a lot taller in that. And he's not even like that anymore. But yeah. Toppo's a great character. I actually like Toppo a lot more than Jiren. I actually like Toppo a lot more than Jiren. Sure, his character design's not the coolest, but I think he's fun. I think he's really fun. Dispo!
A purple
Dish soap.
rabbit? Or a cat, maybe? Whatever he is, he's one of the reps for Universe 11.
My Gohan had no choice but to team up with Frieza at the Tournament of Power to beat this guy.
He's able to cooperate with even someone like Frieza in order to protect our world. I love that man.
It just became talking about Gohan really instead of Dispo. It's because there's not much to say about Dispo, but yeah, Gohan kicked his ass. I think in the manga it was different though.
These are the three warrior brothers from Universe 9. Their bark is just as impressive.
Well, there's only one of them
as their
here,
bite.
so
Didn't
you should have said
he
one
fight
of the
Goku
three.
shortly before the Tournament of Power?
Right. But as always,
Goku was stronger. Yeah, in the preliminary matches. Yeah, Goku kicked his ass too. And yeah, honestly, this whole character and his trio of brothers are just a letdown. Nothing really important to say. What universe are they a part of again? 9?
These are the
Yeah,
three
Universe 9. I can't believe I got that right.
Universe 9. Their
Yeah.
bark is just as impressive as their bite.
They're all bark, no bite. You got it on the frickin' nail, man. You hit the head on the nail.
Right.
The nail on the head.
Goku was stronger.
She's
Ribrian!
a female warrior from Universe 2. I've heard her transformations are pretty different from Goku and the others.
I heard she
This
has a
is the
huge
transformation.
fan base in the universe she came
Her
from.
base form, she
After
looks like a
that
human though.
transformation sequence, I was an instant fan.
Really? That made you a fan? Okay, you're easy to please. Kakunsa.
Another warrior from Universe 2, just like Ribrian. She seems to treat martial arts more like hunting prey.
Not sure if that's a misunderstanding or just her style.
It's just the way she learns.
I've seen far cooler styles than that.
It's just the way she learns. Yeah, I got nothing much to say about this girl either. All the girls from this universe are a little bit boring to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Sand women are a lot cooler, but at least they're here.
And another warrior from Universe 2, like Ribrian.
Universe 2?
She fights with the fists of Yachina.
Must be a fighting style used in Universe 2.
Fascinating to see the techniques of the other universes.
Yeah, it is actually interesting to see the techniques of the other universes. It also switches up the gameplay a lot for this game too as well too, and just for the story of Dragon Ball, so I kind of like that too. Like I said, I appreciate the inclusion, but not the biggest fan of the designs and just the way they look. The Annie Laza might be the last one here. Wow, we went through all of them.
This is what the warriors from Universe 3 look like when they fuse. Didn't anyone tell them that size doesn't matter?
Gohan sent
It
this
matters a
ugly
lot,
thing
okay?
tumbling.
He could warp time and space to
To
launch
them, it
his
matters a
attacks.
lot.
Ugh, I'd love to learn more about that kind of technology.
Wait, what kind of technology?
This is what the warriors from Universe 3 look like when they fuse.
Well, this is Universe 3
Didn't
too.
anyone
I didn't
tell
know
them
that.
Size doesn't matter.
Gohan
Would have
sent
just thrown
this
them in
ugly
Universe
thing
2 with
tumbling.
Ribrianne and
He
them.
could warp time and space to launch his attacks. Ugh, I'd love to learn more about that kind of technology.
Yeah, the most I remember from like Annie Laza, I think it's like what, 5 fighters and like fused into one or something like that. Something like all around those lines, but yeah. Not much to say on this one either. I think he's the last one too, which is unfortunate. But whatever. This was, wow, the entire encyclopedia of Dragon Ball Z. Of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Super. And it's a great encyclopedia. I loved it. This was really fun to go through and sit through. I can't believe we went through all of them. It didn't even feel like it, but we did it. Man. But yeah, I just wanted to sit down and just kind of do this and make this video too. I'm doing it on stream, but I'm also going to post a video of it because, like I said, I love this. I love inclusions like this into video games where it just shows other side characters just, you know, talking about these characters and just reminding us about their pasts. It's really sweet to me, and it's just, it makes the game feel a lot more alive to me, and just these characters feel a lot more alive. It's a big reason why I even love Dragon Ball 2, because of the characters and the world building, and just everyone feels so close and related to each other, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just like a certain family instinct from Dragon Ball that no other anime gives off that makes it the closest and dearest to my heart. But thanks for sitting through this with me, you guys. I truly do appreciate it. It was, I guess, a little bit of an endeavor, but it was really fun. Once the time kind of just flew by for me. This is probably going to be like a 2 or 3 hour video since, like I said, this is all the characters, I believe, unless I'm missing one. If I am, then let me know, but I think this is all of it. But thanks for sitting around, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for enjoying the vibes. Until next time, I'll see you later.